We will speak of the Empire, of Dowd, the murder of an empress, of Corvo and his heartbreak. But first we look beyond, to a place where time means little and the tragic everydays of man mean even less. It is undefinable and unknowable, infinite and in perpetual change. It is the void. And someday this place will devour all the lights in the sky. Enigmatic deities have, in ages past, manifested the void to mankind, as it so longs for some form of representation. Tragically, we do not know the names or stories of these ancient deities, but imagine the tales that could be told of them. There may still be cultures that know and worship these dead gods. But in this story, we will know of one. 4,000 years ago, on the isle we now know as Sarkanos, the remnants of a god were found high in the mountains, in a spot where the void and reality weaved one tapestry. This eye of the dead god granted those exposed to it a heightened perception of the world around them. Some were even able to see the overlaps of the void itself here. This group called themselves the Envisioned, and took to studying the eye of the dead god, eventually becoming cult-like, worshippers and agents of the void. The void's desire for an agent manifested to the Envisioned as a prophecy in the stars. Observing and honoring this prophecy, these ancient people abducted a 15-year-old boy and took him into the void, to a place called Ritual Hold. A most heinous ceremony was held, a human sacrifice. The young man was drugged into a stupor, laid upon an altar, and an artifact called the twin-bladed knife was used to cut his throat. His body remained there, in Ritual Hold, encased in stone, but a spiritual manifestation of him roamed freely as a new godlike being of the void, the Outsider. His memories and mortal name were stripped from him, only held within his mark, something only the dead can read. The cult, the Envisioned, continued to serve the void, to serve the Outsider. They would guard Ritual Hold, so that his body would remain unharmed there. The blade, that twin-bladed knife, could undo their new god. It could kill his physical body. The Envisioned who stayed close to the void began to change. Their flesh became stone of the void, a reward for their diligence and loyalty. These unspeaking, undying guardians stalked the mountain paths around the entrance gate to Ritual Hold, phasing between reality and the void itself, keeping all away from where the Outsider's body lay. They were bestowed the name the Envisioned, and those within the mountain that remained human instead became known as the Cult of the Outsider. But what of this new god, the Outsider? What sort of deity did he prove himself to be? Well, perhaps not what one might expect. He was not good nor evil. He became curious, selective, not an outright liar or a fiend, but he delighted in word games and dancing about the truth. He would grace those who piqued his interest with his mark, gifting them the ability to harness supernatural powers associated with the void. But the mark of the Outsider quite often proved to be a burden or a tool of chaos rather than a blessing. The Outsider himself typically offered little in the way of preference or guidance to those he marked. He was often content in staying neutral, perhaps issuing a goad or a taunt, and just watching what happened afterwards. Throughout the centuries, independent groups and denominations cropped up around the Isles, which worshipped the Outsider. Eventually, those groups and other faiths were snuffed out through bloody conflict with the established religious order of the Empire after it was officially founded. But the cult of the Outsider remained elusive, their base in the mountain an almost mythic secret, even from those who would seek it out. The cult of the Outsider kept a close watch on the outside world. They kept records and accumulated knowledge. They watched for promising recruits to bring into the mountain. To walk near the void, to become one of the Envisioned, was considered an ascension. And now we speak of a more modern time. The mountain is called Shinderi Peak, and a mining rush has begun. Vast amounts of silver were found. An entire complex and a small town was built to accommodate the new venture. For perhaps a decade, it was prosperous. But some very unusual things began to occur that eventually turned insidious. Reality would crack open, the void seeping out. Miners and workers began to hallucinate strange things, suffocations began, They suffered headaches, nausea, and memory loss. Then entire sections of the mines seemed to disappear into thin air, only to reappear later. Workers went missing. Structures went missing. Eventually, the disappearances would last for days at a time. The air became poisonous in some areas of the tunnels, and the Shinderi Mining Company refused to acknowledge the claims. The workforce fled. The facilities were abandoned. The entirety of it left to be reclaimed by nature, and the events that took place there were widely lost to memory and public record. But deep within the mountain, the cult of the outsider remained undisturbed by the madness of the void. Walking beside the envisioned, they continued their study and worship, ready to stand against any who would threaten their god. Did you make your way through Dishonored and, like me, came out with an ultra-high chaos rating? It's okay. Killing people with whale oil tanks is still a form of creative expression. I accept you for who you are. And the second time through, it's much easier to not kill everything with a pulse. But there are more challenges to the gameplay of Dishonored than just high or low chaos. In fact, there's a huge number of ways that you can choose to approach it. Let's go over just a few, and maybe one of them will pique your interest. Clean hands. No one can die, meaning you can't kill anyone. Not High Overseer Campbell, not Dowd, not the Pendleton twins. I know, it's tempting. But no murder is allowed. Although, no one ever said anything about a happy little accident happening, right? Reaper. The opposite of clean hands. Everyone must die by your hand. No one is safe. It's a pretty brutal way to play the game, especially since, well, some of these people, they just wanted to be your friend. Shadow. Never detected. You can kill and spare anyone you would like, but no one can see that you're there. If someone catches you, then reload that save, my friend. Situational awareness is key, as all it takes is one wrong blink or a misstep for someone to spot you. Do you think you could climb Dunwall Tower without being detected? Well, then how about this? Ghost. Never detected, and no killing allowed. Now we're getting a little bit more complicated, aren't we? You can incapacitate as required, but use your items sparingly. You might need them later on in a pinch. Mostly flesh and steel. The only power you are allowed to use is your blink. No dark vision, possession, bend time, devouring swarm, shadow kill. All you get is your blink. And if that doesn't sound too tough for you, well then let's take it a step farther, shall we? Flesh and steel. No powers allowed. None. Those runes you keep finding, you might as well give them to Granny Rags, because in your hands, they're just weird, gross bones that are probably covered in something unsanitary. Now, those are just a few ways that you can choose to play Dishonored. If those all sound too easy for a master assassin like yourself, don't worry. We're gonna be back with more challenges very soon. Hey chat! Do you want to play a game? Vera Moray is better known as A. Delilah Copperspoon, B. Lady Boyle, C. Billy Lurk, or D. Granny Rags. And the answer is D. Granny Rags. Tivia, Morley, Gristle, and Serkanos. These are the isles which would become the Empire, but they are not the world. The Empire was birthed from a bloody conflict, the War of Four Crowns. Gristle, which homes Dunwall City, was the ultimate victor. Gristle became the crown of the new empire, and Dunwall its capital city. More conflict ensued, as one might expect. 80 years after the War of Four Crowns, a powerful religious order called the Abbey of the Everyman began a crusade which became known as the Rectification War. The Abbey believed that the universe was full of hostile forces intent on seeking out the doom of mankind. The most paramount of threats came from the being called the Outsider. Studying him was heretical, and worshipping him was a death sentence. The Rectification War was touted as a unifying one, in which all other false religions would be snuffed out. It lasted for all of 3 years. A siege at the city of Whitecliff on the Isle of Gristle ended the war. Heretics, witches, servants of the Outsider were killed on sight. After the siege of Whitecliff ended, the Abbey of the Everyman officially took a great seat of power as the official religion of the Empire. But the union of the Isles into an empire and the establishment of an official religion did not act as a binding agent between governments. In particular, one of the islands, the place called Morley, viciously fought the oppressive rule of the Empire, keen on maintaining its autonomy. Morley fought bitterly against assimilation during the War of Four Crowns. When Morley pushed back against oversight and command, the monarch responded by tightening its grip upon the island. The influential and wealthy industrialists of Gristle had for a long time exploited the people of Morley for cheap labor and their resources, and this hostility saw with it repeated attempts by Morley assassins to kill the emperor or empress of the empire. 175 years after the War of Four Crowns, the Morley insurrection began, a violent uprising against the monarch. Morley rebels made their way to Dunwall and murdered the empress. The insurrection lasted a little bit over a year. The empire eventually brought Morley to heel, and a brutal famine began in Morley, forcing many of the natives to flee their homeland. In Gristle, the home of the monarch, Dunwall Tower, was heavily fortified, and a new position in the court was created out of necessity: royal protector, someone to always stand at the side of whoever ruled over the Isles. But remember, the Empire, the Isles, they are not the world. Let's look to the east, to a continent shrouded in mystery and danger, where explorers oft venture and forfeit their lives, where ancient civilizations have risen and crumbled with naught of their story left behind. A land of dark magics, bizarre wildlife, and perilous earth. Pandysia. Oh, the heart yearns to know your secrets. And that sentiment of longing curiosity was shared by some of the minds of the Empire, explorers, philosophers, hunters. Even the Abbey of the Everyman made ventures across the sea to touch upon Pandysia. Once in a generation, a great effort is mounted to build a colony there, in hopes of this someday growing into a port city to rival Dunwall itself. But to date, these attempts have all ended in madness and failure. One of the first documented expeditions we know of comes from the journey of Lord Preston Moray and his wife Vera Moray. Though we don't know exactly what happened to the expedition at Pandysia, Vera Moray returned to Gristle quite mad. She'd taken an interest in the bone charms, runes, and black magics of Pandysia. You see, she'd caught the eye of the Outsider, who was still a worshipped deity within Pandysia. Vera Moray was gifted the Outsider's mark. She was institutionalized a few years after their return. She lost her vision, her status in higher society. She murdered her husband and used his carcass to make bone charms and black magic reagents. She took to living in the slums of Dunwall and became Granny Rags. From the writings of a man named Anton Sokolov, we get further insight into what it was like to travel to Pandysia. The voyage across the sea was long and fraught with danger. Sokolov lost half his crew before reaching the shores of Pandysia through sickness, phenomenal weather, infighting, and poisoning from fish that flew through the waves of the sea. More of the crew yet died during the cliff climb to reach the accursed place. Sokolov had a frightening obsession with the Outsider. But alas, Sokolov could not find the outsider even here, unlike Vera More. Sokolov was far too uninteresting to garner the favor of the outsider. He tried his best, but in the end he simply disgusted the outsider. At the expedition's end, only a handful of Sokolov's crew made it back to the Isles alive. There had long been songs and poems recited about diseases on the continent that could spell disaster for the unprepared masses of other lands. Let us touch on one more ill-fated journey to Pandyssia, the venture of High Overseer Scott Grafton. Though little is known of what took place during his quest, his fate works in tandem with songs and poems that already existed of Pandyssia. Grafton was the first overseer to forge into Pandyssia, and he returned quite sickly. The High Overseer died of what would become known as the Rat Plague. Records were kept of his death, confirming the existence of a lethal plague on Pandyssia to the Abbey of the Everyman. And for those with knowledge and power, this plague would one day be used in a most cruel and brutal plot. Ready for another question? Dowd led a gang called the A. Hatters, B. Whalers, C. Brigmore Witches, or D. Knives of Dunwall. And the answer is B, the Whalers. Now don't go away. We'll be back with more lore in just a few minutes. On the 13th day of the month of ice in the year 1795, Dowd was born. He was born in Serkanos, but even the circumstances of his birth are whispers of the dark. His mother was supposedly a witch from Pandyssia who was kidnapped and taken prisoner on a pirate ship. Dowd was the product of that imprisonment. And yet, his mother did not submit to this fate, if you believe the tales. She was an agent of the outsider bearing his mark. She killed many aboard that ship, and she took it for herself. Dowd spent his childhood traveling about the Isle from town to town. Even at a young age, he was quick-handed and smart-witted, a natural with a weapon. This was noticed, and Dowd was taken away from his mother. From there, he fades back into fable, though as a teenager, Dowd was known to have landed in Dunwall, where he moved unseen through shopkeepers and the city watch, like a reaper through wheat. As Dowd grew into a young man, he honed his skills as a thief and began to study anatomy. Then he began to study the occult. Around the Isles, he searched out altars to the void and the outsider, never quite knowing exactly what it was that he was searching for. He spent a season studying at the Academy of Natural Philosophy, and also spent time counting the Brigmore Witches as allies, if you can believe that. In his mid-20s, Dowd finally found what he had been searching out. The outsider himself appeared to the blossoming rogue. Dowd took the mark of the outsider, elevating him from a force to be reckoned with into a nigh unstoppable assassin. Dowd became a killer for hire. His services were highly sought by those in power. With the mark of the outsider, Dowd could flash through the air, bend time and space to his will, and peer through the void to find secrets and targets. Dowd began to collect followers, fellow assassins that, through his mark, he could empower with lesser abilities that too made them fearsome killers. The gang Dowd built up became known as the Whalers. He recruited and trained them all himself. A decade after Dowd received the mark from the outsider, a young woman very suddenly came to Dowd's attention. Billy Lurk. Billy was the daughter of an islander from Pandysia, a foreigner to Bristol. Billy grew up in Dunwall in a hostile home her mother took to drink. Billy was beaten and uncared for, so she developed skills to provide for herself. She abandoned her mother quite young and began to roam the Isles with a group of other youths who were trying to get in with an established gang to make their coin. Thievery and even murder were her trades. As a teen, Billy fell in love with another of the group, a young woman named Deirdre. The two were thick as thieves. It was the first time Billy had experienced love in her life. So, when Deirdre was killed in the streets by the son of the Duke of Serkanos, Billy in turn murdered the royal miscreant. It was all just a chance encounter. The Duke of Serkanos was visiting Dunwall with his sons, and the killing of Deirdre was probably an accident, stemming from a cruel display of privilege. Billy was forced underground. She was actively hunted by the Dunwall City Guard. Even troops from Serkanos traveled to Dunwall to search her out. All of her old thieving pals and all the groups she came in contact with in the underground rejected her. Her crime was too public. Her face was known around the city. Even after months of eluding the city guard, the chase was not abandoned. It was really only a matter of time before Billy Lurk was caught and punished for the murder of the Duke's son. But one fateful morning, as Billy lurked about the still dark streets of Dunwall, she saw an assassination take place, 3 actually, at once, by one man, Dowd. He killed them so quickly that she didn't even see his blade come out. Across Dunwall, she followed Dowd into his territory, into a seemingly abandoned building full of weapons and practice dummies. Here, Dowd confronted the young Billy, observed her reaction to him and his words. Seemed there was some potential within Billy Lurk. And that day, she joined the Whalers. We talked a bit about different challenge run types. Kill no one, kill everyone, never detected, and no killing, only blink powers allowed, no powers allowed. Each of them are a feat to pull off. But what if we made it just a little bit more difficult? What if we started mixing and matching to really let chaos reign? Reaper Ghost. Everyone dies. You are never detected. No one can escape. But equally as important, no witnesses. By the time you're done with Dunwall, the city literally won't know what hit it. Ghost of mostly flesh and steel. You may kill no one. You may not be detected. And the only ability that you can use is blink. Good luck, friend. I don't think I would stand a chance, but it could be worse. It could be Reaper, flesh and steel. Everyone must die, but this time, no powers are allowed. Your enemies can see you coming and shake in fear, but no blinking to close the gap. No shadow kill to cover up the evidence. If you want to do that, you gotta do the heavy lifting yourself. Oh, not tough enough? Well, try this out. Reaper Shadow of flesh and steel. Everyone dies. You can never be detected. No powers are allowed. I imagine Dowd and Billy Lurk would quite appreciate this style of play. You have to plan your routes, take your time, and plan your brutal takedowns. These are some examples of the mix and match style that you can choose in Dishonored, but you can always make it more challenging. How about no knockouts, no killing, no equipment, and no powers? Or how about adding no HUD allowed as a rule? Or no upgrades, no vendors, no consumables, collect all items, only trickshot kills allowed. Perhaps choose your favorite combo and then turn it into a speed run. The sky is the limit when it comes to the many challenges that you can face in the world of Dishonored. It's time to greet an old friend, is it not? On the 25th day of the month of Nets in the year 1798, Corvo Attano was born in the city of Karnaca on the Isle of Serkanos, and his life had a happy start, even though he did not hail from wealth or status. A wild and free child on the streets of the city. But hardship did eventually come to Corvo and his family. His father was killed while at work in accident. Corvo and his eldest sister began living rougher lives on the streets of Karnaca. Their mother, Paloma, took comfort in the teachings of the Abbey of the Everyman to cope with her loss. Corvo's sister suddenly vanished when he was still quite young, leaving her fate unknown. But Paloma and Corvo made do. When he was 16 years old, he entered the Blade Verbena, an annual tournament which attracted the finest swordsmen from all across Serkanos. And at just 16 years old, Corvo Attano won the Blade Verbena. He was offered a rank within the Grand Serkonan Guard, and his life changed forever. For 2 years, Corvo served honorably as a soldier, and the Duke of Serkanos, Theodonos Abel, became aware of the young man and his skill as a fighter. He was sent to the heart of the empire, to the city of Dunwall, to serve the Emperor Euhorn Kaldwin. Euhorn ruled over a time of growth and peace within Dunwall and all the empire. The Kaldwin family rose to power after the assassination of Empress Larissa Olaskir, when no heir was left to take the throne. The emperor appointed young Corvo as the royal protector of his 12-year-old daughter, Jessamine, as was custom in the courts for all youths who were deemed to be the future of the monarch. And 6 years later, a romance blossomed between Jessamine and Corvo. When Emperor Euhorn Kaldwin died, Jessamine took the throne at the age of 20, with royal protector Corvo Attano ever at her side. An industrial boom began with Empress Jessamine at the helm, as did games of political intrigue and internal power struggles. Empress Jessamine ruled in service to the people of Dunwall and the Empire. She was perhaps what some more strict militant types would call lax or naive. She kept the Dunwall Tower grounds open to citizens. She rejected calls for increased security for herself, and she trusted those within her inner circle to such a degree that she did not question them in motive or in judgment. 2 years into her rule, Jessamine gave birth to a daughter, Emily Drexel Leela Kaldwin. Born out of wedlock, it was clear who the father of the child was, but Emily was accepted as the future heir to the throne of the Empire, and the issue of her father's identity was never raised. As Emily grew, she was quite close to her father, Corvo, though it's unlikely that she explicitly knew that Corvo was her father. He was a father figure to her, at the least, and a constant presence in her life as she grew. The royal spy master, Hiram Burrows, took issue with Jessamine, with Emily, their choices, their chaos. Hiram Burrows took the role of royal spy master 5 years into Empress Jessamine's rule. And when he looked upon Dunwall, he saw a glorious city being rotted from within by the empowered poor and the fetid, growing slums of the city. From every corner, he saw a threat and a scheme. And when he looked at little Emily Kaldwin, he saw a spoiled child squandering away her potential as a future empress with games of imagination and the fawning of her mother. The decline of the city was underway, and with an uninterested empress on the throne, a woman who would not confront the pestilence that was the lower class, Hiram Burrows took initiative that was afforded to a man of his position. As the royal spy master, he acted with very little oversight. So, to clean up the city, Burrows commissioned the plague of Pandisia be brought to Dunwall. Carried by the bully rats native to the foreign place, it was released into the slums under order of royal spy master Hiram Burrows. Burrows was a man of order. Everything happened with purpose. Orders were to be followed. Everything should be predictable. So imagine his frustration when the rat plague began its work and his quarantines failed. His curfews failed. His orders were not heeded by any of the citizens of Dunwall, and the bully rats bred at such a rate that they could not be contained. Therefore, the rat plague didn't just kill those in the slums, it spread. And Empress Jessamine refused to order strict quarantines, refused to deport from overpopulated districts, refused to take hard measures that would just punish the most vulnerable in the grand city. First came the turning of skin to a sickly shade, the inability to consume nutrition. Muscle fades, weight drops, hair falls out before the cough settles in, and once a victim bleeds from their eyes, you cannot help them. The brain is slowly destroyed. Eventually, insects infest the victim and violent outbursts begin, and the whole ordeal is quite contagious. Through weeks into months, medical professionals struggled against the plague. City officials did what they could to stop the spread, but it was so aggressive, and no one had the power really to stop it. The rich were able to buy their way out from the infection for a time, but eventually, the sickness came for them too. Not quite 2 years after the plague commencement, Empress Jessamine sent the royal protector Corvo Attano away from Dunwall to the neighboring isles of the empire, to the other great cities, to ask for aid and request guidance, anything to help Dunwall and the Isle of Crystal. By now, bodies were beginning to pile up in the streets. With Corvo Attano gone, the Empress was less defended, and the patience of royal spy master Hiram Burrows and his inner circle was all but gone. Empress Jessamine commanded Burrows himself to investigate the source of the plague in the city, quite a conflict of interest. Paranoia and fear joined the fray within Hiram Burrows. Order was gone, and the royal spy master demanded order. Not only that, but now he had to fret over his involvement with the plague's release being discovered. With Corvo out of Dunwall, Burrows put into play events that would end in Empress Jessamine's death, a royal assassination, and in her place, Burrows would rule as Lord Regent until Emily Caldwin came of age. Order could still be restored, Dunwall would be remade, and it would be better for it. Hiram Burrows commissioned the assassination by a man named Dowd, the Knife of Dunwall, on the 18th day of the month of Earth, in the year 1837. Corvo Attano returned 2 days early from his diplomatic mission around the Isles. No aid would be sent to Dunwall. In fact, rumors of an attack from the Isle of Morley were stirring. Corvo shared in a brief moment of greeting with his daughter and the Empress, before Dowd and his whalers descended. Corvo was left to watch, powerless as the Empress was murdered and his daughter stolen away. How opportune for now Lord Regent Hiram Burrows that Corvo Attano knelt over the body of the now dead Empress. Who else could have killed her if not him? Corvo is to blame for this. He killed the Empress. To Coldridge Prison he will go, to mourn his loss in the cold and the dark. 6 months of torture will come at the hands of those truly responsible for Jessamine's death. And then finally, an execution. Hi Chad, it's me again. You ready for another question? What country was Corvo Attano born in? A. Circanos, B. Tivia, C. Morley, or D. Crystal? Did you get it? The answer is A. Circanos. It's time for another break. Get your snacks ready because when we come back, we're going to conquer the story of Dishonored. It's time for our last question of the day, chat. Where was the Eye of the Dead God found? A. White Cliff, B. Shenderi Peak, C. Redmore Mountain, or D. Yarrow Bluffs? Ooh, that was a tough one, wasn't it? The answer is B, Shendari Peak. After the murder of Empress Jessamine Caldwin and the abduction of her daughter Emily Caldwin, while Corvo Attano suffered in Cold Ridge Prison, there were some who conspired against the new Lord Regent Hiram Burrows. They called themselves Loyalists and desired to see Emily Caldwin returned to Dunwall Tower, her home. They will use their connections to find and remove the Lord Regent's allies, expose his connections, and exploit points of weakness to undermine his rule. Overseer Teague Martin, nobleman Trevor Pendleton, and former Navy Admiral Farley Havelock lead this effort. But acting in service to the Loyalists is another person of importance, a creator named Piero Joplin. The genius mind has been touched by the outsider, is haunted by nightmares of the void. Piero has been creating a mask in preparation for Corvo's arrival for several months, though he did not know why he was crafting this mask, just that it would be of great importance. For the Loyalist conspiracy to succeed, they need Corvo Attano. None of the Loyalists believe Corvo actually murdered the Empress, and for their plan to succeed, they need to take custody of Emily Caldwin. Corvo is the only man in the city with the ability and drive to accomplish what is to come. So before his execution can be carried out, the Loyalist conspirator Overseer Teague Martin uses his connections to sneak a key to Corvo in his prison cell. And from there, the once royal protector is able to free himself and meet the ever-dependable Samuel Beechworth, who will act as ferryman and perhaps even friend to Corvo. Samuel sees him to the Old Port District, to the Hound Pits pub, where the Loyalists will convene, conspire, and scheme. The creator Piero Joplin has finished his dream-inspired mask. It will serve practical uses, but perhaps of most importance, it will become Corvo's identity. But how will Corvo choose to proceed as he treks through Dunwall in service to the Loyalist plot? For you see, Corvo may choose to act as a ghost in the city, working unseen, never taking a life, a gentle hand in a most terrible place. It would take patience, planning, cunning, and restraint. But Corvo need not return to others the pain placed upon him. Or all can be made to suffer for what was done to him. Who could possibly be considered innocent in a rat-infested plague hole of a city like this? They took everything from Corvo, so he will devastate in return. No one makes it out. He will be the reaper of this cursed city. His guys will be known, and all will fear for their lives. But, oh my, those are choices for you to make, my friend. On this journey, we will hold true to one through line, made much more of mercy than mayhem. Corvo has a night to settle in comfortably for an unfit slumber. Has he fully mourned Jessamine? Did he ever give up hope of finding Emily? In Coldridge, did he accept his death? This man has lost so much, yet readies himself to fight on. What is about to take place around Corvo Attano is most interesting, is it not? And it would seem that somebody agrees that someone would like to have a conversation with Corvo. It's the black-eyed scoundrel himself, the outsider, here to taunt at the pain of the past, but he offers to Corvo his mark, power to aid him in the journey to come. But this is not all the outsider gifts to Corvo. Through tormenting his dreams, the outsider inspired the genius mind of Piero Joplin to create something else, the heart. The outsider stole the heart away upon completion and brought it into the void. It now holds the spirit of Corvo's beloved. Jessamine speaks to Corvo through the heart, and she too will guide him through what is to come. Is this a cruel gift, or is it necessary? In Corvo's time away, under Lord Regent Hiram Burrows' rule, the already sick Dunwall has fallen deeper into infection. Life-saving elixirs to stave off the plague are used as currency, therefore a method of control by those in power. Young men found to be ill are used for labor and then killed before their eyes begin to bleed. The slums have been left to flood and to rot. The ultra-wealthy hunker down in their estates. Bodies are left for pickup in the streets, to be taken to now filling dump sites. The brutality and paranoia of the police force feeds off the brutality and paranoia of Lord Regent Hiram Burrows. Some on the streets speculate that Dunwall has maybe 3 months left. Or perhaps those left to suffer the plague have 3 months left. There are 2 different worlds to be lived within the city. Corvo must retrieve the loyalist overseer Teague Martin from imprisonment and handle the High Overseer Thaddeus Campbell. The High Overseer is a valued ally of the Lord Regent's, part of the scheme to blame Corvo for the murder of Jessamine. Teague Martin's involvement in the release of Corvo was discovered. He's been imprisoned by the Abbey. Corvo sees that he is freed and returned to the safety of the Hound Pit's pub. High Overseer Thaddeus Campbell, though a figurehead within the Abbey, is a true sinner. He breaks the 7 strictures that the Abbey preaches on a daily basis. He acknowledges this himself and rather treats it like a big joke. A man of the church who lives like royalty. But Corvo does not outright kill him. Rather, he chooses to maim Thaddeus with the mark of a heretic. It's fitting, is it not? He will be outcast, denied food and shelter for all the rest of his life, ostracized from society, left to walk the abandoned streets of Dunwall alone. Is this not justice? Now, former High Overseer Thaddeus Campbell kept a little black book of his sins and contacts. It will prove invaluable in the hands of Overseer Teague Martin. He can wield it like a weapon against those in power within Dunwall, and leapfrog his way into the now vacant position of High Overseer. How fortunate for the Loyalists. Next is a matter of parliamentary politics, a task from the nobleman Trevor Pendleton. His older brothers, twins Curtis and Morgan Pendleton, are corrupt politicians who would never break from the will of Lord Regent Hiram Burrows, because the Lord Regent pays them very well for their votes. Eliminate the twins, and their votes will pass on to their little brother, Trevor Pendleton. And it just so happens that where the twin brothers are playing is where Emily Caldwin is being held, the Golden Cat, a brothel that frequently caters to the rich and influential, politicians and religious figures. It is a man named Slackjaw from the Bottle Street Gang who reaches out to Corvo. It seems that Slackjaw rather has it out for the Pendleton twins, or maybe just has an interesting sense of justice. Turn the Pendleton twins over to Slackjaw's men, and they will shave their heads, cut out their tongues, and put them to work in their own silver mines. Perhaps it is cruel, but is it more distasteful than murder? Their brother Trevor Pendleton reflects that this is a better option rather than having them killed outright, at least this way. Perhaps he will get to see them again one day. Corvo retrieves Emily Caldwin from the Golden Cat and finally takes her back with him to the Hound's Pit pub, where the servants to the Loyalists are ready to receive her. The royal physician Anton Sokolov is the next target, but not for disposal. He is needed for information. Sokolov worked in service to Jessamine during her reign, and now he works for Lord Regent Hiram Burrows. Sokolov is a troubling character. He has been a driving force in the militarization of the City Watch and the Abbey. He infects and studies people with the rat plague so that he might make a cure for it. Morals and ethics mean very little to this man, but he has information about the secret lover and financier of Lord Regent Hiram Burrows. It would be a personal strike against him to find and remove the woman, and devastating to the finances of the Lord Regent's office. She is revealed to be the Lady Boyle. Determining which one is up to you, my friend. But what a grand spectacle of a party is being held at the Boyle estate. Corvo's mask rather helps him to fit right in. The Lady Boyle will not be murdered within her own estate, but rather delivered to imprisonment at the hands of an obsessive man named Timothy Brisby, and this is distasteful. But at least Lady Boyle will live and be given the chance to free herself and eliminate the Lord Brisby. With the Lord Regent's allies slowly removed from play, his finances ruined, his political circles thrown into uncertainty, and favor within the Abbey all but destroyed, now is the time to strike at the head of the snake. The order from the Loyalist leader, Admiral Havelock, is to kill Lord Regent Burroughs, the man has caused unspeakable horror for so many. Such suffering has come at his hand. But is it truly justice to just kill him? To let him die with never suffering the consequences of his conniving made known? Dunwall Tower is heavily fortified and patrolled by a large number of city watch. The tower features a broadcasting system, a means to deliver information and orders to all about the city. An on-site propaganda officer knows one of Hiram Burroughs' dirty little secrets. He likes to make audiograms, confessions to and justifications for his deeds. In exchange for his life, the propaganda officer will broadcast these confessions for all to hear should Corvo obtain them. This will take power and order away from the Lord Regent, bring the sins of his inner circle to light, and clear Corvo's name. This delightful outcome sees Hiram Burroughs arrested by his own guards for high treason, paving the way for the Loyalists to move in and restore order, to return Emily Caldwin to her home in Dunwall Tower. Now is the time for rest and rejoicing. A quite tense merriment ensues at the Hound Pit's pub. The completion of their work, the start of a better future for all of Bristol. Emily will be returned to Dunwall Tower with Corvo at her side. Everyone here desires to play a role in the tomorrow to come, some more so than others, though the needs of the future Empress must be placed above all else. With her father serving as her protector, all will be well. But out of fear, paranoia, and greed, Admiral Havelock, Trevor Pendleton, and Overseer Teague Martin do the unthinkable. It's not just a betrayal, it's animalistic. Samuel Beechworth is ordered to poison Corvo, though he only gives him half a dose, saving his life but still rendering him unconscious. The three backstabbing monsters intend to continue forth with the narrative that Corvo Atano murdered the Empress on behalf of Hiram Burroughs. They will be met as heroes, gain legitimacy, and the fear of their conspiracy to overthrow the former Lord Regent will never be made known. They murder everyone that they can reach within the Hound Pit's pub before the City Watch is called to investigate the scene. The trio take Emily Caldwin with them back to Dunwall Tower, and poor Samuel Beechworth is absolutely guilt-stricken. But he didn't know what else he could do to spare Corvo's life. Samuel places Corvo into a raft and sets him to float down the canal of a flooded district away from the City Watch patrols in hopes that he will recover and find his own way forward. It is the Whalers who find Corvo and bring the still ill man before the one who killed the Empress, Dowd, who will not let Corvo go. He is an unknown variable, and Dowd does not allow such things within his plans. But while the Whalers are well-versed killers, Corvo proves to be the better of them all. The Whalers cannot keep a man like him in a cage for long. And now Corvo knows precisely who killed Jessamine. The Knife of Dunwall, Dowd, has had his own ventures and trials to overcome. A mysterious and powerful witch has drawn his attention, turned Billy Lurk against him, threatened the return of Emily Caldwin to the throne, and the guilt of what he did. The murder of Jessamine, it was different. It was wrong. It festered within him, it changed him, and when Billy Lurk, now a woman who was practically family, betrayed him to the witch, Dowd chose to exercise forgiveness and mercy rather than brutal retaliation. He just couldn't continue on that path anymore. Instead, he sent Billy Lurk away, and when Corvo broke free from his imprisonment, Dowd knew that he would be coming for him. The two meet at last in the flooded district and come to blows. It is Corvo Atano who proves the victor in this fight, but in a move that quite surprises him. Dowd asks for mercy. He does not beg, but he tells Corvo that he's had enough killing. Jessamine's murder, it broke something within him. He's lost Billy, himself, and he just wants to leave this city. Corvo grants this request, leaving Dowd to quietly pick himself up and find a new way forward, a new purpose, and a mission across the sea. There are still a few survivors hiding in the Hound Pit's pub. They hide away from the City Watch that now walk the area and cannot flee until Corvo handles them. Anton Sokolov and Piero Joplin are amongst the survivors and can actually assist in clearing the grounds. Though the two have a troubled past together, these circumstances force a reconciliation. Samuel Beechworth is able to approach the shoreline when it is safe to do so, overjoyed to see Corvo alive and well. The three traders have taken Emily and fled to the island fortress called King Sparrow Island. Admiral Havelock has appointed himself the new regent and commander of the armies of the Empire. Reaching where the men wait in supposed safety proves to be a challenge without raising alarm. High atop the tower, Havelock paces and talks to himself almost as if trying to justify things to or comfort himself. He has poisoned his cohorts, Trevor Pendleton and Teague Martin. It seems that the new Lord Regent's paranoia and fear of betrayal just couldn't leave well enough alone. And this man will not be allowed to leave this island, not this time. Corvo gives him a moment to speak, and Havelock tries to use his treatment of Emily and the fact that she will be watching his decision against him. Yes, Emily will be watching. Her father, Corvo Attano, cuts down the traitor Farley Havelock. This man will receive no mercy. And so, this particular tale, it's come to an end. Emily Caldwin takes the throne as a young empress with royal protector at her side. It will be a long and difficult road for her, but those who wish her well will aid her along the way. Piero Joplin and Anton Sokolov work together to finally cure the rat plague that has destroyed so much of Dunwall. Survivors of this tale are reunited with family and friends, once thought lost to the cruelty of the world. But what of the man Dowd? And what of Billy Lurk? And the mysterious witch thought cast away into the void? Well, my friends, those are stories for another day.
Three, 2, 1.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Welcome to the Quick Draw 2v2 Finals. I know that a lot of people have been looking forward to this, and I have definitely been looking forward to it. So I hope you're all having a most excellent day.
And most importantly, I hope you're having a great QuakeCon.
Especially that. Now, there has been a little bit of change on the schedule. We are going to have our initial game. We are unfortunately missing some of our competitors, so there is a chance that the format might shift. As of right now, it's still going to be single eliminations with the lower bracket. As long as everything goes smoothly, that's the way it's going to stay. So if anything changes, I will be sure to let you guys know. So just keep in mind, we might get a little bit more action out of the competitors that we've had present. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started. All of our competitors are already ready, and we are going to have a 10-minute 2v2. And
let's do a quick, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Let's do a quick intro. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yes.
How dare you not know who I am? I'm just kidding. I'm Quake Angel.
And
I'm Dark Shadow Rage.
And who are you?
And I'm DP. You guys are stuck with my voice again, asking the silly, stupid questions.
That's
How
okay.
dare it be?
Me and Kitty love Quake Champions, so if you get stuck on some, we'll help
And
you.
there are no stupid questions.
Of course, if you are confused about something, we'll explain it.
I mean, there could be stupid questions, but we're not going to tell you if they are.
The only thing is, I'm the Nyx guy. I love Nyx, but everybody knows that. At least anybody who knows me. But I love this game.
Self-proclaim.
Yes.
Hi, Kumo.
But it is a fact that I do have the most inside outs in this game. So
Get sleep, but not tired yet. Everyone deserves sleep. Everyone needs sleep. Whether or not you actually get it is up to you.
but what I'm really happy about now is we're loading into Burial Chamber for 2v2. I love this map so much.
And
I
there
love seeing
have
it-
been a lot of uncommon maps being used. The reason being is because they're exactly that, uncommon. Kind of throwing our
And-
competitors for a loop.
Oh yeah, and Burial Chamber, this bad boy's been around since the closed beta, and I love seeing it.
Prepare your team.
So I'm on Thrash Priest now. Which one are you guys on?
I am also on Thrash Priest.
Round begins.
All right, let's kick it off with Thrash. I have it to follow Killer.
Let's get
So-
thrashing. I do not have it to follow Killer. I am going to just be randomly swapping, but I will tell you who I'm following. Blue
That
team
works.
already securing the heavy. Now, another thing I want to say about this map is while it's not typically a map you see in any kind of duel format, 2v2 or 1v1, you will definitely see it in public matches.
Oh yes, especially in TDM. Thrash
Are we-
going in with a double barrel shotgun, getting LG'd in the back, and he's down.
We are going to
Club.
swap over to Club, who not only gets thrashed, but gets the double kill as well. And I just want to say Team Sports Car is back.
Oh my God, the Schwartz Thule with the shotty. Oh my goodness. The
That's a
single
starter
barrel shot-
shotty.
It is. Oh, and he puts him down and got a daisy out of it too. Nice.
Very nice, very nice.
Look at that sexy railgun though.
But
Fake
unfortunately,
controller
it
railgun.
came with a cost. He is suffering from a massive loss of health and shields.
It looks like he stacked back up minimally. He's almost at full stack again, going up to where heavy would spawn.
Lead
Looks like it's
taken.
not up yet. It's about 10 seconds before heavy.
Yeah, about 10 seconds too early.
Nice
Let's swap
rail on
over and
Club.
see how Thrash is doing. He has busted out the Shambler arm and is chasing Androck, it looks like, but the sports cars have united.
Now, did he take the Shambler arm off of Shambler, or, you know?
Yes, he ripped it off his corpse and is now using its lightning ability.
No,
because-
he didn't.
That was a great trade, by the way. They just kind of died.
So you see, the Shambler was throwing out a little too much electricity. He got a little extra floofy, and his arm just kind of fell off. We're just gonna go with that instead of the other option.
Got our first quad of the map, and it looks like it's going to go to blue team.
Possibly, as of right now, it's being heavily
Oh,
contested,
nope.
and it's gonna go to Club
Club is our quad man.
with the
got
golden
the
rail. Oh,
gold-
that looks
oh.
so good with the purple tint.
Club claims heavy. And, oh my god. Oh, there goes Thule.
Look at the way the starter shotgun expands with the quad. You just never get tired of it.
Right? Oh my god. Sniping with the shotgun.
Shotgun snipe. Oh no!
No.
Do the robots have feelings? Because they just kind of take
No.
it.
Clutch
No, they
seems
just-
to.
Killing spree.
Clutch wants to delete you.
Let's actually see how his teammate is doing. Again, we see one of the QuakeCon skins on the rocket launcher. Androck trying so desperately hard to find his opponent, who is bouncing like a rabbit.
Right now
I
it's
see what I
fairly
did there.
even too. 9-9. Oh,
And Thrash
with that.
coming in with the rail.
My god. Another good rail from Thrash. And another one
Beautiful.
from Thrash. And
Four.
another one from Thrash.
Can we get a 5? Oh
And
no!
Club shuts it down. It's like, okay, enough of this. Enough of the rails.
But the back-to-back railing, that was good. That was sexy.
That was beautiful. Oh my god, and Club gives him one of his own. But he misses the other. Thule.
Wait a minute. That was green, that was blood, and there was also red blood on the body. I am so confused right now.
It's oil. It's colored oil.
But then where'd the red come from?
Good question.
I'm so confused.
Thrash gets lit up by Club with only 3 HP.
Thule is claiming the mega, but gets sandwiched by sports cars. That is not a position you want to be in.
Until he says, go away. I have a shotgun. I'm not afraid to use it.
And we see yet another QuakeCon skin. We see the QuakeCon machine gun. That's one you don't see crazy often.
My god, this match is so close. It's 14-14 already. Neck and neck.
Well, you do remember last time we had this event, Androck and Club did a pretty overwhelming performance, and it looks like Blue Team, Thrash and Thule are like, we've got some up our sleeve too.
I think Thrash has wall hacks when he's using his ultimate.
Yep. Visor can see you through the walls temporarily. He can see where
Visor
you are.
has wall hacks? How dare you?
Just like Nyx has an invisibility. She can turn invisible.
Yeah, but invisibility is only so much of a hack. Being able to wall hack is just unheard of.
Teams are tied.
Teams are tied again. My god.
Protection just ran out. Club is heading to look for even more opponents, and yet the score is staying solid. Not any massive difference between the two at any given point.
Kind of like to see this because it keeps the game tight, but it also keeps it exciting. Because you don't have one team pulling away with the score, but you have it neck and neck, and it's really fun.
Alright, let's swap over to Androck. It looks like he's off by himself, so we're going to go again on another swap to Thule, who catches Androck with the rail. Beautiful, getting out of there with only 7 HP. Oof, that is tough.
And he's
running around.
Oh! Rails him in. Thule's like, I'm dead.
Androck gets the revenge, but still 2 very nice kills. Going back to Thrash, who kind of seems to be alone by rail, but he is not alone for long. Club pushing in with the sports car. Be careful, you might get run over. Oh.
Thrash is really taking it to Club. I'm surprised. Club is usually a really tough opponent, and Thrash is like, come on, bro, let's go.
Tough is a tough opponent, sir. There is no denying it.
That is very tough.
Oh, and what a rocket on the jump pad, giving him a 2-point lead. Blue team is not taking any prisoners today.
Popping that piercing side, he knows where his partner is. But Thule's
It's
all alone.
it's almost like they practice in the off time, eh?
Almost, yeah. They seem pretty coordinated, which is really nice.
Thrash holding a pretty heavy position. Let's see how Thule comes in with the snowballs.
Oh, nice rail. Oh,
Quad is taken by Club, but oh no, Android.
Thule! Thule now has a quad. Finally, blue team has a power up, and they're pulling ahead too, 21-18.
Blue team has been ahead, sir. Where have you been?
I was so enamored by the action. It was so, I wasn't paying attention to the scores, but it's so wonderful. I love it.
See, that's the shotgun I like. Oh, and Club takes him down with the rail. Let's go over to Club perspective.
You like that Quake 4 super shotgun? Ooh,
Is that the Ebony?
that is the Ebony, yes.
That's the one I like. Besides the boomstick, you can't go wrong with the boomstick.
I'm partial to the Quake 2 super shotgun. I just love the sound and I love the look.
You clearly are not.
I like
Army of the
killing
Dead.
things.
He likes killing things.
I like it when things go pew pew.
My god, Club moving around, but he's surrounded and Thule takes him down.
I'm
The shotgun
curious
of his
if we're
own.
gonna see a gauntlet off. Every time I bring it up, I demand it.
mean,
We
it's
have
not
had
possible.
some pretty impressive gauntlet fights recently in our quick draw events. Oh no, is Android gonna get wrung out? So close to it, but is able to get the Mega, getting heavily denied by Thule, but is
Ooh.
still able to survive it.
Cleaned him up with that nail gun though.
Oh, and I love that nail gun skin as he explodes into a sea of motor oil.
Sea of motor oil. Thrash grabbing a rail. Missing the one on
So
Club.
far, one of his absolute best
Oh.
weapons.
Oh yeah, this map is a really nice rail heavy map. But man, the sports car shut him down.
Club is tired of being on the receiving end of that railgun. They'll be busting out the QuakeCon gauntlet. Not getting the kill with it, but still flexing.
I love that Quake 4 machine gun that Club has. That's really nice. It makes a great sound. Club stealing the heavy.
Androck right behind him. We've got 2 sports cars, and they are moving fast. Still only a 2-point
Thrash
difference.
coming in with the rockets. Thrash gets the protection.
Oh no!
Oh my god, this could be in. Oh, Thule coming from behind. Was that a gun? No, it was a rocket.
Thule
Wow.
taking the hit for Thrash, but still able to even it out. Thrash
Oh.
hurting bad, but he still has the protection, and Thule coming in for the rescue. 5
Wow.
HP on protection right now.
These sports cars are getting taken out.
Club
God.
is still not giving up, though.
Oh no, he's determined.
We only have a 5-point difference. Make that a... Oh, nope. I stand corrected.
Thule's been so aggressive with that LG though. Oh my god, Club shut him down though. Immediately with that rail into the face. And Thrash
Oof,
railed him in the
Club
back.
is definitely doing some quick railing as he's trying to go for the Mega, but oh no, his teammate took it from him!
Oh no,
Oh,
the
and they
suicide.
both go down.
Cannot fail my perfection. That's what he says.
Are we gonna
But-
see Blue Team taking this home?
Oh no, Thrash is getting heavy hit. Oh, and Club takes him down.
Le oof. We're gonna go over to Thrash Priestby and see how he's holding up with that Shambler arm, walking around saying tickle, tickle, tickle.
I know some people like to say the Shambler doesn't have fur, but that arm, maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm enjoying where you're going with that.
Does a Shambler have fur, or is it skin?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then.
Excellent answer.
Perfect.
Let's try to watch the same person all together. It makes it a little bit easier.
Right now, I'm
not-
still on Thrash, and I've
I
been
am also
following
on Thrash.
pretty much the
Alright.
killer's perspective
Thrash.
at this point.
Thrash with the rockets,
And he is going to take the quad.
and he just cleans up house.
We are now at an
Takes-
11-point lead.
My God, what a match so far.
I think it's the wall hacks.
Watch.
No, he has have skill.
Yes. And that means.
And
yeah,
that is
Thrash-
the
And that's the
GG.
game.
That was an intense match all the way through. That was beautiful.
That
Absolutely
was
beautiful.
definitely not what I typically would say was expected, considering that, again, last time we had this competition for the preliminaries, Club and Androck were an absolutely undefeatable team, but Thrash and Thule came in saying, no, we got skill too, okay?
So we're gonna take a commercial break here while we're getting ready for the next round, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Help!
Hello.
Hello.
How is everyone doing? So, we
think-
did have a disqualification, unfortunately. You know, I always hate to say that word because it always brings me sad feels. But,
Oh,
unfortunately, it happens. So, here's how we're going to go down. We are going to have best of threes. So, while Thrash and Thule did win the first round, they will have to win one more in order to advance. And then we also have Androck and Tau who will be able to get a chance of redemption here. And then we are still going to have a lower bracket. So, the winner of this match will go against Meknan and Jabba. The loser of that match will have a chance of redemption as well. And then we will have our finals, which will be a best of 5. Now, these are the finals, so of course the last match will be the grand final. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Again, I apologize to everyone for the format change. Sometimes you just have to wing it whenever you have people that don't show up, and it's okay. Things happen. We're just going to keep rolling with the punches.
I just want to say, at least the stream is working. That's all I care about.
Oh my goodness. Do not click on global chat. I apologize for anyone that might have seen that.
Well, it was an interesting comment there. Very colorful. But, so who's up next in this round?
It's the same teams.
Same teams, okay. We're just changing it to Awoken. If you haven't been paying much attention, I am a terrible shoutcaster, but I'm going to ask silly questions and just kind of go with the flow.
Go ahead. We have a minute because, Thule was AFK, but apparently not. What question do you have, sir? Who committed the crime against Quake champions? We are not going to say. And I am doing that for player protection because I love my players, all in each. I know I probably said that a little funny, but it's okay. What was your question, DP?
Oh, I forgot.
Excellent question, sir. Well, our
Yeah,
players are
you're
ready,
welcome.
so let's go ahead and get into it.
This is what you get for shoutcasting with me. And
Hey, I knew what I was getting into.
Yes, you did. All right, so this is a team deathmatch 2v2 map. For those who don't know, this game is Quake Champions. It was created by an elite team of programmers that make video games. And yeah. There's Cthulhu up there in the corner.
Sir!
For those who don't know.
Sir!
Oh, uh-oh.
How dare you insult our great Lord Goddess Cathala?
That's Cathala? Who's Cathala?
That is Cathala.
I want to hear the lore.
She is an elder god. Boy, okay. First off, the elder gods are based off Lovecraftian. I will give you that. However, that is Cathala. She is the lady of the elder goddesses and gods. You can't really get too much. We have quite a few, but she is the lord of the Oceanic Realm. I am actually slipping the name of it right off. It's my bad. But she is my personal favorite. We also have a couple of favorites like Volker and Goroth that most people will be familiar with. But she is not Cthulhu.
Well, I feel like we need to have some.
She might banish you.
Oh no! I feel like we need to have some Quake Champions lore because I know it's deep.
It is very deep, actually. I would not mind doing a lore reading at some point, but first we have our match kicking off. We are actually starting on Thrash Piece once again, who gets a turret kill. Turi putting in the work. And we get a gauntlet already, and I missed it. Oh, Cardinal Sin. Ooh, why is it lagging so hard? Holy monkey, it was not lagging this bad a minute ago.
Is that the server or is that the? It is.
I would think it's not the server. I'm going to lower my settings just a hair.
Lead taken.
Let's drop to 16:9, see if that helps with the frames.
As you can tell,
Oh, they
we
just
are
made it fuzzy.
professionals.
Teams are tied.
Ew, it'd be doing a fuzzy. Well, that did help it from lagging. Well, it did stop the lag. Do you want me to put it back on 1080?
No, keep it like that, because SF can, he can adjust it on his end. Give it just a minute.
Sorry about that. We know what we're doing.
So, turn off your clown prawn torrents. That's a mouthful to say. I'm sorry, but like it's hard getting it. So once you find a good one, you gotta keep going with it. Either way,
Stop. That is why I dropped it to 16 by 9. I do apologize. Typically, I do run my streams at 1080, and my feed was doing fine. So there could be a number of factors that might have played into this, but it's stable now, so we're gonna go with it. And we've had it on Thule for quite a minute, so let's find our quad carrier. It looks like Androck will be the quad carrier right now, with a skill bearer. And yes, I said it that way on purpose.
my question.
Yes.
The gauntlet this year happens to be a little special.
A little special? You mean a lot?
A little special. So it's the QuakeCon 2021 edition.
It is. Androck has been... Him and Thule have actually been flashing it a little bit. I'm going to stay on Thule for another minute to see if he might give us a beautiful little fisticuff. Well, he seems to be in the heat of battle, so we might not see it just yet. Oh, if he gets this double kill, we might! And what a double kill. See what happens when you're looking for the gauntlet? You get some prime quality entertainment. And then Androck comes in. Oh, hold on. I can fix this actually.
Suicide! I know that one. So while she's fixing that, I'm going to talk. We're going to watch I can't say his name. We're going to watch Androck because he's got a machine gun and he's going to just get nailed by the Doomslayer. We have a glorious view of the menu button. These settings, man, that's pro settings. It doesn't get any proer than this. So if anybody wants an upgrade or looking for the maximum settings, you should totally do that. Oh look, we fixed it! And we're gonna follow Thrash for a little bit as he gets slapped around by Androck.
You smarty pants. Sorry about the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. I changed the settings for video to help smooth it out a little bit, but it looks like our production team is completely on top of it, so we can go back to the lovely 1080. The waterfall you saw was on my end. That was completely my bad. I apologize. I know I'm a horrible caster sometimes, but I do have my moments.
Nah, you can blame me. I'll fix it. Either way, I enjoyed the waterfall. It kind of made me feel relaxed as we're watching Androck getting frags after frag.
I apologize for the lack of jumping around. That, again, was my fault. I was trying to fix settings, so we didn't really have a lot of, Wait, I don't have a killer button? I don't have a killer button! But either way, we do have a lovely view of the Shambler arm getting some nice kills. It looks like blue team is slightly behind red team, which means we might even go to a third round, which I always love. If you have a best of 3, I want to see 3. You have a best of 5, I want to see 5.
I agree. I like to watch people just nail bite it, literally and figuratively, with the nail gun.
Do we have a shadow on the call?
He is, I don't know. Probably not. Oh. He is on the call, but he's muted because he's recording. So...
We do have Quad. Thrash is still taking it. I was going to swap off and get some other views, but he is our quad carrier as well, doing some excellent plays. Beautiful shotgun snipe. You hate to see it, but you still love it.
Ouch, from afar.
Oh no!
Oh, a
wow.
skill bearer.
Everyone dies, and Androck is left to claim the quad all for himself. This is, well, it was a chance to secure a little bit more of a victory. As of right now, it's only a 3-point difference, which means it can be anybody's game still, but they didn't waste it. It also didn't have that much time, but you can't waste that.
So Androx move over to Skill Bear, and the
Thrash
only reason
coming
why I
in
know
for the
his
kill,
name.
but flying.
Ooh. Nice kill by Thrash. The only reason I know his name is because I have the statue of Skill Bearer.
The Scale Bearer statue. There is not a bracket that is accessible, unfortunately. Because we've had so many shifts in it, there is not one that has been available to the public. The next round, however, for those who might be curious, will be between the winner of this, facing off against Meknan and Jabberwocky. Jabberwocky taking the place of Janor, who was not able to join us today, but Jabba stepping in to fill that shoe, that way we didn't have another disqualification. So make sure you give him a high five. Oof, and Club coming in viciously with the starter shotgun. We do have Proc coming in. Looks like both teams are getting ready to set up for it. Thule claiming the Mega, but just getting obliterated by Scale. And they have an exchange.
It's a bold move. I don't know if it'll work for them, but the score is getting a little bit closer here at the end. As we see the demon spawn. So we're going to bounce around a little bit. Looks like Thrash is jumping around. Pulling out that Shambler. I wish I had that model skin.
It is a purchasable skin, actually. If you did not get the Shambler arm, don't feel bad. It has always been in the shop, and it remains there still.
I don't know if I play enough to justify it, but I should do it.
There are a few purchase-only skins. The freeze gun is another one that a lot of players you'll see have. Not too many, which is fortunate. Most of them have been either skin types, which will be changing the color, that kind of thing. If you want the bright orange railgun, you can always get that. If you missed a weapon from a battle pass previously, typically they will recycle them, or you can also purchase them in the store as well, so you're never without.
Okay. Thrash nailing with that rail. That was an impressive hit. As he continues
on point with them.
It's a still close game. We got just almost a minute left.
With only a 2-point difference. Every time one of them gets a kill, they exchange it for so much health.
Nice pick by Clive.
Good, Clive.
Clutch your pearls, guys. It's gonna be close.
Oh, this is extremely close. Less than a minute, and we only have a 1 frag difference. Thule coming in hot to clean it up, and still they are only ahead by 2.
Ooh.
One rail here could make it, break it, and there it is from Club. The shield is out. If they get this frag, we might even see an overtime, but it was a nice exchange. 30 seconds with an even score. Can he find someone before the clock ticks? Looks like his teammate sure did, and that will give them 1 frag ahead with only 10 seconds left on the clock.
Can they catch up?
Team 1
Can they do it?
up.
Let's do it. Let's see it. Come on.
1 frag, and there it is.
It's a nail-biter.
Overtime.
We did it. We did it, Twitch. This is what we like to see. We like to see some action and blood pumping.
Thule with the clutch kill at the last second. Now we only have 3 frags apart. Oof.
Now, where is Scalebearer actually leading the way to?
You know, I think only Scalebearer knows. We only have a 2 frag difference coming into even further in our overtime, but you cannot complain because any overtime is good overtime. Club taking out Thrash, but has to deal with Thule as well. He is able to do so, securing a 2-point lead But can they keep it?
Ragdoll effects are on point. I am saying something about the quality. Unfortunately, it's not just us. There is some problems on Twitch's end as well. But we're just making what we got, you know? Just think of it as old school Quake.
Pixels for days.
Yeah, I thought you guys liked pixels. And logos. I thought you loved logos as well. If we can have our lower third, it'll actually show who we are. And our Discord where you guys can jump into. There it is. He's listening.
Alright, well, it looks like round 2 is going to go to Androck and Club. So that means we are going to get the one thing I was excited for, the third match of the best of 3.
This is it, folks. Let's get a poll up in chat. Who's going to take it? Team, well, what are we going to call them? Team 1, Team 2?
Team Red and Team Blue. Team Blue being Thrash Priest and Thule, Team Red being Club and Androck.
Rev the Butcher, we miss you guys here in Texas.
We miss it too.
It's like I'm in Texas and I don't miss this weather. It's hot.
Team Yellow. Team Yellow failed to make an appearance today. They shall not be appearing in this film.
Yeah, and Rafa didn't want to be in here, so like get mad at him. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break after this, and we'll come back for the next round. Thank you guys for bearing with us, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
You should have acted. They're already here. The Elder Scrolls told of their return. Their defeat was merely a delay. Till the time after Oblivion opened. When the Sons of Skyrim would spill their own blood. No one wanted to believe they even existed. And when the truth finally dawns, it dawns in fire. But there's one they fear. In their tongue, he is Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
Now I'm ready.
Cutting over in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, hello,
Ooh, my-
mic check. Are we doing all right?
My
Hey,
voice
guys.
just cracked. Holy cow.
How you guys doing? Sorry, I had a little bit of an audio problem last round, so my stuff wasn't working. My
we
bad.
broke them.
I'm sorry. I'm back though. Hope everybody's doing good.
So I was yelling at him in the background,
Three,
just so everyone's
two,
clear.
one.
I'm sorry. Everything just broke and just I hope you guys are able to do it without me though.
So did we get
So-
a poll up? Did we get to see who's gonna win on this one, or a poll, or what is
I
it
do
called?
not see a poll.
I will say though, that last match was absolutely insane. That overtime took me by surprise.
I don't know, but there's some Russian going on.
Привет, comrades. All right. So,
See, blat. Anyways.
excuse me, sir. You
what?
watch it,
I sneezed. What are you talking about?
sir. All right. The map is going to be Corrupted Keep, and again, we are in the last of the best of 3 for our first group. After this, whoever our winner is will be facing off against Mechman and Jabberwocky. So I am actually really excited to this. Keep in mind, whoever does go to lowers is not out. They will have a chance to redeem themselves. And then whoever wins the top bracket just gets to sit back and relax for a little bit while we go through lowers.
I'm
Team
excited.
Blue is favored to win. The poll ended. That is why I did not see it, because we were too busy fixing problems. Once again, I want to remind everybody I am joined today by DP and Dark Shadow Rage. I myself am Quake Angel.
So
Well,
fun to be here. Love you guys.
As we're getting started, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourselves?
Me? I love Quake. I've been playing Quake since I was a kid. Love this game. I play Nyx almost primarily in this game though. And Kitty will never not tell me not to.
Oh, I will tell you not to.
I
You're not going to
Nyx.
listen.
Nyx
know.
is a lot of fun.
She is. And I just my own personal little horn with this little toot toot is that I have the most inside outs in the game with Nyx. And I have a bot named after me. That's all.
So I'm DP. I've been playing Quake for God, I don't know anymore. It's too long to count. But either way, I'm terrible at it, but I try. And yeah, I'm just here as backup because everyone likes to hear my sultry, sexy voice. Of,
Everybody loves you.
yeah, I guess they do. I don't know why, but you know.
We're just
whatever.
going to pretend it has nothing to do with your enormous orange cat.
He is he's a oh my God, if you could see the picture of him right now, he is like splayed out.
The
He's
cat
such a
is adorable.
chungus.
He's a
The cat.
chunky
Is
boy.
anyone seeing Quake 3 Arena bots? Yes, actually. I hosted it last night, and if we have the time, we will be doing another run-through of it later this evening, so make sure you stick around in the Discord for any announcements on it. We are starting out on Thrash Priest. I'm going to set up my Follow the Killer, so whoever takes out the one and only Priest of Thrashing, they will get a little bit of a spotlight. And as of right now, Team 1 taking the heavy for themselves. We have 2 Death Knights versus a Sports Car and Scale Bear. And for those who don't know, Sports Car is clutch.
And Scalebearer just gets in your way and says he's leading the way.
Where though? That's my question. Is where?
To your death, then Thrash takes out Club with the first blood? No.
It is not the first blood, but it is definitely going to take the lead.
Those 2 frags happened immediately together, so that was quite something.
You could
Thrash
say it
killed the
was
Mega.
teamwork.
Indeed. Thrash gets the Mega, secures it for his team. Going after Club.
Teams are still tied. Thrash is yet to go down, but he was able to catch both of his enemies on fire, getting possibly a double kill here, and there it is.
Oh my god. Thrash is just cleaning house. Here comes Club again to give it another go. He runs off. He's like, I don't want that LG. It's too much.
Thrash doing quite an excellent job staying alive, but goes down to Club.
Club showing him what he's doing with that No, I lost my train of thought.
Able to swipe the Mega.
15.
Yes, we only have 10 seconds now on the quad. Club. Oh, getting taken out by a gauntlet!
To the face.
Well, DP, there's your gauntlet that you wanted.
I wanted the fisting.
Oh, and what a battle for quad. Club gets it, but at what cost? He's only got 10 on the bubble! He was
Thrash
on
with
the
quad.
bubble!
Sometimes the bubble's not enough.
Only 3 seconds left. Manages to get that final one.
Thrash leading with a 6 frag out of 9 lead. That is fantastic, keeping blue team with 4. They were the favorites to win. According to the polls, that was not me.
But
I
Thrash has
have
been
no
cleaning
favorites.
up with the shotgun though. He's just been, hello, you get a shotgun, you get a shotgun, everybody gets a shotgun. And he gets the
Oh,
rock.
and
was a
what a
good denial.
shutdown.
Yeah.
No, Scalebella, you do not get to run me over. So rude.
Yeah, you tend to do that. Thrash with the fire again. Club pushing him out with a shotgun of his own, but Thrash says no. He's throwing rockets and shotguns. My
You
God.
might have shotgun, but I
Gotta say it's
also have
ballsy.
shotgun.
He's really low, and that's what he gets for taking that chance.
And Andro taking out
Getting
Thrash with
the
that.
tribal.
Indeed. That's a fun weapon if you know how to use it right.
Tribal best bolt. There is no competitor.
It's the only bolt.
That's why
And
it's
Julie-
best, but we don't like to think that way. Julie, we have another view of DK with, again, one of my personal favorite shotgun skins.
Like, you know what? I just realized it's actually double DK. I didn't realize that. That's a good
I may or may not have already said it.
I got so enamored with the action, I must not have heard it, but it's still awesome. And
Oh,
just like,
and the shocker, you love to hear it.
man, it's just shotguns and rockets. It's and a little bit of LG. But you know, sometimes it's all you need on this map.
Incoming
Because
protection.
10
I can do
seconds
an
away from it.
You secure the protection, could secure this next line of frags. Looks
DP,
like
the
Club.
alternate announcer voice.
Yes.
And Club secures the protection and the Mega, and gets an LG.
A
to go
much
with
better
it.
secure than the quad run for sure, and this time he's not having to worry about fire.
Oh no.
Closing that gap slowly but surely. We only have a 3 frag difference right now. Club making the best use out of this that he can. Dodging the fire, but then going right back through it, and unfortunately getting rather toasty. The sports car is hot.
That was
I need an
lit.
oil change.
Nah, nah.
That was
I
lit.
need an oil
A,
change after that, but Thule is going to send him right to the auto parts store.
which one?
That's a good question. I don't know. Whichever
Obviously
one's
the
in Quake
one
world.
within the Quake world.
Exactly.
The
Thule
arena auto parts. Come get serviced.
Thule's securing that heavy, going in with the LG. Lighting up that scale bear.
I do want to say it's been fun to see double sports car. Now we have double DK. This has been interesting, but Club has not shifted. He is holding on to the sports car fam.
To be fair though, Clutch is a quite difficult champion to play.
And Club
mastering
has
it.
been pretty masterful with him in many a competition that I've seen him compete in.
That is true.
Thule
Clutch
skirting
6 of
death
them.
with only 20 HP, but managing to get a small armor and a couple of bubbles to bring that stack up just a little bit. Luckily, there is no railgun on this map, otherwise he would be in a world of trouble right now.
I wish there was a railgun on this map. It makes me sad.
Makes a lot of
Really
people
going
sad,
with-
but that's how it's been since the map got here, so let's go with it.
And Andro coming in with a super shock.
Oh!
But Thule says, no, sir. Here's my gauntlet. Goodbye.
And not only was it just any gauntlet, it was the DK gaunt, which is on fire. Literally.
Oh, the
Beautiful rocket.
quad's about to spawn in 5 seconds. Who's gonna fight it?
As of right now, it looks like Red Team is setting up for it. It looks like Club is going to be the one to take it. We're going to swap over to his perspective. Thrash Priest
Right.
getting melted by a quad LG, something you do not want to be on the receiving end of. Ooh, that hurts.
Oh, God, yeah. Quad LG is just devastating, especially when you're in a room with a whole bunch of people.
I mean, honestly, quad anything is going to hurt.
One could say it's 4 times the strength.
Oh, no.
Club fully stacked, going on a tear with this quad LG. Nobody's
And
gonna
there's
fight
the
him now.
tie-up that we were waiting for.
I think that was Thule who just launched his fire. Yes, it was. And Club is like, nah, I'm here. Club lighting up Thrash with the LG and just going back to collect some bubbles. And Thule shuts him down.
It's still a close neck and neck race. We
Yeah.
might come down to the wire again on this one, which would be very exciting.
What, do we see another overtime though? That'd be insane.
Hopefully, 2 overtimes and a best of 3. Oof,
I want to see it.
I want to see it. I always want to see it.
Is there a code in here I can use to kind of plug the scores so we see it?
No, sir.
No.
Not in the world of Quake. We are honest people that murder.
Oh, I thought that was private chat. Sorry.
I would never do such a thing. Not in my lobby, sir. You want
play TV.
raw, evil carnage? You're gonna get it in my arena.
Everybody gets a little bit of carnage.
All them giblets. Man, Carnage isn't here, man. For those of you that don't know, he is a local Quake player, but he is not competing today. We have Club going for the tribal, but I've noticed he doesn't seem to use it.
No, he just looks at it and switches to the rocket launches. I like this more.
Ooh, Thule taking the protection and making the best of it. Getting the kill in the process. This is going to be good if they can run into them to give themselves a little bit more of a lead here, but they are ahead by 1, which in some instances can make or break it.
Club and Andrew are doing a great job of sticking together though. That's for sure.
The score
About to have
has
our
been
2-minute
neck
warning
and neck.
here. It's still neck and neck in anyone's game.
You gotta admit, when it comes to the matchups we've had here, the 2 teams have been close in every single matchup they've done.
And look at that, it's tied up once again, 31-31.
You'll love to see it.
It's really exciting when that happens.
Oof! Club ninja-ing that heavy while getting assaulted by Thule.
You think that fire was gonna hit him, but he just dipped out, or he's like, nope.
This is my heavy. I know you're shooting me, but you can't have it.
Thule's floating him with that LG.
Oh, and the scale Bailey goes down. Club coming in hot, getting lit up, but he has the shield.
The shield, Thrash didn't really care about it though.
Thrash's like, yeah, you have shield, I have rockets.
Coming down to 1 minute with 30 seconds. It's gonna come down to who gets to control that quad. That's what it's gonna. And it's just one thing.
If they can make the best use of it, that's a crunch time to deal some damage, and the score is so close. If blue team gets it, this could spell a defeat for red team.
Here it comes.
With the lightning and the fire.
Definitely doing a good job of pushing
Who's
it
gonna
off,
do
but the
the
score
fight?
is
Let's-
only 1 point different.
It's gonna come down. 2,
One.
1.
Quad is up, and it's gonna go to Thrash Priest.
Has it.
This could secure it right here.
This is it.
Oh!
He gets the double kill. Holy cow!
A double shotty.
That just
I
sealed the
think
deal
it's
right
yeah.
there.
That was a good finishing
calling
for
it
that
GG.
one. Oh man.
GG's in the chat. 10 seconds left and only 4 frags to go with one of those opponents that need to be taken down running around with a quad. That is not something you want in your favor.
Wow.
But neither team backed down.
What a finish.
Wow.
Blue team is going to be taking home the first victory of the day. They are unfortunately going to be moving right along to do another fight, which is always going to be crazy when you're the winning team. You're like, no, I get a break. Not in this one because there's so few teams. So we're going to have Androck and Club bouncing down to the lower brackets, and then it is going to be Thrash and Thule versus Mechnan and Jabberwocky. Whoever is going to be taking this will get a nice little breather while we go down and watch the loser bracket. However, keep in mind that none of these teams are lighthearted. They are always going to put up a fight.
Somebody needs to clip that. That was a good double kill right there.
That
Oh,
was amazing.
Beautiful.
So whoever's watching Twitch, clip it. Need that one.
Turn the corner. Bam.
All right. So
That
while
was
we're
great.
getting set up for the next match, let's go ahead and take another commercial break here, and we'll come back full.
Flame from the ashes, I will rise again. Suffer and die! Yes. Suffering is only the beginning.
The only thing that I can do is just accept yeah, you're good.
Wow.
Kermit the Frog here, narrating for everybody.
I'm just over here singing lovely.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back.
If you don't talk, it throws them off.
Ignore me. Oh, wait a minute. What? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I did a little bit of a lie. Well, I didn't lie. I didn't know any better. I was honest with the information I had. Mechnan had to drop, but Desiree, one of our competitors that unfortunately was disqualified because their teammate had disappeared for a moment, took his place. So we are not without. In fact, we have an entirely just team of awesome people who are willing to fill in those spots whenever the worst becomes the worst. And honestly, they all deserve high fives. Thrash Priest and Thule definitely deserve a high five for their performance, as well as Androck and Club. And then we are going to get a brand new team into the 2v2, which they're not new, but the teams have shuffled. So this is the final team we have in the bracket. And they will be competing again. Thrash and Thule not getting a break, but hopefully they'll get a breather after this one. And the map is Ruins of Sarnath.
Hey, look, it's Flea. I spy a wild flea in the chat.
A flea? Aren't you supposed to put a spray so your cats don't get fleas?
I'm just kidding. Flea's a fantastic person.
He is indeed.
And it's spelled differently too, so that is very different. I speak like Sonic. I mean, if you want me to start talking fast, I will show you what fast is. But yes, I tend to talk a little speedy.
She's just excited. We're all excited.
I can't keep up.
Oh boy!
All right. Let's make sure our players are ready. Yep, everyone is good to go. So we're going to go ahead and kick off the first round in our next best of three. We have Desiree and Jabberwocky going up against Thrash Priest and Thule.
Let's get a red v blue poll going while we're getting ready for this to load up.
Hashtag free orb.
Red versus blue. Where have I heard that before?
Oh, it is. Oh, is it orb? That's kind of,
We like to
Orb
think it's
is,
Orb's mama.
Here's the thing. If you've ever had LASIK surgery, I have, they actually put something similar like that on your eye.
Oh god, that's
Nightmare
chains?
Fuel.
Yes, the chain. No, it's some weird ring thing that actually, we're going to get into it deep here. It actually goes on your eye, cuts your eye so they can open it and then shine a laser in there and make your eyes fixed. I've had
Nightmare
it done,
Fuel.
and it sounds nightmarish, but I would totally do it again.
still ow. I
It's
can't
actually,
imagine something cutting into my
it's
eye.
not painful.
I'll
Do they
take your
numb
word
it
for
first?
It's really, I mean, they have some kind of numbing drop in there, but it's like not painful at all.
Fixin' to say, I could not do that. They would have to knock me out.
I mean, they give you some happy things.
Okay, then I feel a little bit better about this. But Nightmare Fuel. Also,
Yeah.
for anyone
Who are we
that
gonna
was
watch
paying
first?
attention, I started on Thrash Priest with my kill follow on. And for anyone in our chat, if you were able to catch bots last night, you will know that poor little Orb only wants to go home. And from what it looks like, that might just be his mama in the middle of the map. So maybe he's just trying to go to Sarnath.
Mama.
But Orb did like to camp on the rocket launcher a lot, so there's also that.
That's why the rocket
Would you-
launcher is right above the eyeball.
I'm sorry, I have to say this one out loud because I love this comment. Quijibo says, I love this commentary.
I see what you did there.
Looks like Desiree took the first kill on Thrash.
With an Anarchy. This is the first time we've actually seen Anarchy in the 2v2s.
Now, he does have kind of a problem. He likes to shoot himself up a little bit.
But hey, it gives him health, so what can you do about it?
It's almost like a free mega, so nothing wrong with that.
At the right time, yes. It can also help if you have any conditions such as fire on your butt or acid.
Fire on your butt or acid, there you go. Missing that rail though.
I see.
See, it's actually medication. You guys are just being judgmental.
I just hope it's clean.
Well, of
Anyways,
course.
as we go
He
into
says
it,
it feels good, so it must be. And Thule is
420,
shutting him down with a rocket.
420, 420. Alright, Thule claiming the mega for himself. Blue team is ahead by 1 point, but once again, it is staying rather tight. Facing off against the one and only Visor, but Doom is going to walk away. Still railable, however, so this could put him in a dangerous spot.
Better find some health, Thule. Better be quick.
There's
Don't
that
let
gauntlet.
though. He's just showing it off now.
Enemy has the quad.
We
Uh-oh.
have the quad, and it looks like it's going to be Desi. Anarchy with a quad. Ooh, that is a dangerous combination.
Look at that gauntlet though. It's so pretty.
Thrashery's coming in, but getting just melted by the quad LG. Or as so many people like to remind me yesterday, a beautiful shaft.
I said Tuli, and I meant Desero. Desero's completely stacked.
I could see how you could mix those names up. They are so similar.
I guess
Yes, I am being sarcastic.
But Desero dropping Thrash with a starter shotgun.
Did we get the result of the poll?
Oh, I don't know. Let me check here.
I just saw the bars go down. Who is the crowd favorite, red team or blue? Did he just bunny hop on Visor's head?
I think so.
I think he just bunny hopped on Visor's head, and what a rail. Beautiful job by
The
Desi.
poll is actually split down the middle, 50-50.
Really?
Yes, it is.
You know what I love to see? I love to see the community loving their players.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, Tuli eating that rocket. 10 HP.
10 HP in a dream. Desi getting out of there.
Kind of bouncing around, having some fun time.
He's got a skateboard that hovers. It's pretty great.
When you get
Nice
skatey
rail.
heavies.
Again, Tuli.
Oh, and there's a shaft fight with Tuli, and Tuli comes out on top.
Tuli lighting up Jabberwocky. My
Nice
god.
double kill, but paying for it. Good thing the Mega's there to fill up some of that health bar, because, oof, he was hurting.
I gotta say, this is probably my favorite map.
That's a beautiful map. Have you ever looked up in the sky?
Oh, yes.
It's pretty great.
Have you looked up at the sky at night and noticed it's raining?
Looks like Jabberwocky has the protection.
Swapping over to Patat Cam, you know I'm very partial to that. I was very sad. You see, the first QuakeCon that was converted into an online event was the QuakeCon that I was supposed to get married to Easy Patat. And it made me very sad.
Tuli killing the protection and stealing it for himself.
Not too much time on it, but definitely getting somewhat Samish Thrash Priest in there to help out. Unfortunately, that is going to run out the protection, so not much advantage taken there.
Tuli needs to stack back up immediately.
Beautiful shaft. I am never going to live that down.
Got just over a minute left until we see the quad pop in here.
Oh, what a rocket.
And hopefully we can see Blue Team kind of grab it and just come back a little bit stronger. But it's
Quad,
still anyone's
dang it.
match.
They still got time to bring it right back. They're not far behind.
Have quite a few totems on the map, but it doesn't look like we have to overstack just yet. Anarchy talking when he needs to be shooting.
Tuli
And,
popping up.
I mean, guns, not his injection.
5-minute warning.
I guess Tuli just wanted to hear the music of the Doom.
All right, we're
But it's
halfway
so
there. It's
good.
11-17.
It is.
Gets double railed from afar. Triple rail.
Desi says hello, goodbye.
That would be a drive-by rail by the one and only Anarchy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be here all week.
Incoming quad.
Nice little tap with the shaft, and he is going to move on. 9 seconds until quad pops. Which team is going to be able to take advantage of it?
My god, he had got double rockets and Tuli's. It says, you know what? You gonna rail me? I'm gonna rocket you instead.
Looks like Thrash has the quad. We're going to swap over to him. And the overstack is up. What a combination. Quad and overstack. Galena is pumped right now.
This could be the chance to bring it back.
It's only a 4 frag difference. As soon as I'm saying it, they get another one. Good job, team. There we go. Getting ever so close to tying it up. Oh, but unfortunately the overstack is down.
Yeah, I was about to say he lost 2 of his totems immediately, it seems.
Leave Toady alone.
A good spot to hide the totems, I think, in this map is that little corner right over there.
See, it is a good spot until everyone knows about it.
He just ruined it. Now everyone knows it.
Well, not everybody looks there.
Using it as an offensive, as you can see, From Thrash's screen, we saw two different types of uses for the totem. One being a little bit defensive, healing up your team, kind of keeping that stack up. The other one offensive, because don't forget, it does explode and it does do damage. Oh, is Thrash gonna get the kill? The Mega saved him!
This is our turn.
Man, he was just bouncing all over those walls.
What a clutch right there. I mean, I know clutch isn't here, but you know what I mean.
He's in the hearts.
I have to agree,
And
these are some really good matches.
Yeah.
They've been pretty down the wire. I honestly have absolutely no prediction for the last final game.
She's using that totem to get a little bit more health back. We're waiting for that heavy. Still a little bit too early, but it's about to be here. In just
He's waiting to get a little bit of a tickle out of the Shambler run, but it looks like no one else is going to contest him for the heavy.
Incoming protection.
Oh, protection coming. It's gonna be a fight now.
10 seconds
important.
away.
Always be protected.
Always make sure you have protection.
Galena proclaiming she is not long for this world.
Protection
Right in my
small.
ears.
Enemy has the protection.
Who has it? It's Desi coming in hot with it, too.
Ooh,
You
he's
could
gonna
say
play
she
that
has
Mega.
some hot
Ooh,
rockets.
and the Mega.
Hey.
Pretty
Ooh,
fat
going
stacked.
two people piling up, but Thuli's coming in to help his teammate.
Fortunately, it wasn't enough.
So far, yes. Thrash is still standing, but holding on with a hair of help.
Nice rail from Desi.
Oh, and that score is growing ever greater. Can Blue Team bring this back with only less than 2 minutes on the clock?
Ooh.
That drive-by rail, but oh, the peekaboo rare. Rare. Rail. I know how to
Rail.
talk. Rare rail. Say that 10
That's what
times
we're
fast.
here for. We're here to support you.
And
Not
get
to
me
mention
tongue-tied.
Thrash
Oh!
Got Overstack back. And
Nice
that was very
predictive
rocket.
rocket.
And Overstack is back on the map.
And down goes Thrash with yet another rocket. I've noticed that a lot of these heated fights comes down between Desi and Thrash.
And they always seem to change rockets for some reason.
No, you have a rocket. No, you have a rocket. No, you have a rocket. You would think it's friendly, but in the arena, it is not.
1 minute warning.
This is true.
We've got 1 minute left, 30 seconds until the quad comes back.
Speaking of rockets,
Who's gonna win the
rockets.
giant eyeball?
Orb is secretly crying in the background.
wanted
Jabba
to go
getting a
home.
nice hit back, a little bit of revenge on Thrash, but running into the totem!
oh no!
Totem wanna play?
He just wanted to look at the shiny object and it blew up in his face. That's all it was.
Alright, are we gonna see blue team make a comeback, or is red gonna secure it with this stun?
Totally getting the quad, but instantly dying. Was it to a totem? No, it was actually to some nails.
Desi has the quad.
Swapping over to Desi right now, getting a surprise shotty. Oh no. Galena holding on by a thread. Desi having to back up just a little bit because another rail could have spelled death, but the peak rails are there. And that is gonna be GG.
That is
Red
the
team taking
game.
one.
Good
Wow.
match.
Man, they brought it to him considering those last few matches, how Thrash and Thule were like bringing it hard. These guys like, you know what? We got some too.
Every single time we think we have an underdog, they're like, nah, 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 fam.
It's like,
I
you hit
got
it
you.
hard, we can hit twice as hard. And they're showing it.
It also
Showing.
doesn't hurt that everyone is running some QuakeCon logos. I'm gonna forgive Thrash on this one. That's still a beautiful icon.
So, while we get ready and set up for the next match, again, let's take another quick commercial break for anybody to, I don't know, drink some water. How about that? Let's stay hydrated. Drink water. That's the cue for commercial.
Our commercial error is deafened. So, you know.
crunch.
Going over in 3.
I
okay,
said there weren't gonna
I
be
don't-
any commercials.
It's okay. I don't
just
care
wanted
what
to see
they
the
say
clown.
about you. I still believe in you.
Why
just
do
wanted to
people
see the
keep making me a
clown.
liar? Who wants to see a clown? All
He
right,
was
let's
playing a
see.
guitar.
I do believe I
mean-
changed it to Tempest, but it decided not to.
Do you guys not have clowns? Oh my god, I just read the worst comment I've seen in Twitch in a long time. Put a Whataburger in a blender and drink it.
What? No.
No, that sounds terrible.
That's sacrilege. You don't do that to Whataburger.
Yeah, that's bad. That's no bueno.
All right, I
Man.
believe that our contestants are ready, but wait, nope, never mind.
Whataburger is best burger.
Whataburger does sound pretty good right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Texas staple,
All
man.
right.
I'm sorry, kitty kitty. Oh, goodness. Can you stop pulling?
Okay, my cat keeps deciding your computer down here does not need a side case and keeps taking it down.
Tempest, again, this is going to be beautiful. We had Tempest earlier in duels today.
And that was on a 1v1. Let's see how they hold off in a 2v2.
It's gonna be
I
deadly action.
haven't heard anything from Java and Des, but I am going to assume they're ready because we are a little bit on crunch time. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this might have to get shifted to Discord because the one and only Trivium will be kicking off at 7, so the stream is going to transition to that. It is going to be a lovely watch. I highly encourage everyone to check it out. But guess what? You can have 2 windows open at the same time, so make sure you're not going to miss the finals of this in Discord.
True facts. Now I really want Whataburger, gosh.
But
You know,
the
one of the best things I love about this map is the scenery. It's absolutely beautiful. You get that wonderful thunderstorm. If you look out, you see the crashed ship in the pier. It's pretty awesome.
Going from Sarnath to Tempest, you really just don't miss out on the rain.
Nope.
I believe there's a song about that.
Is there? I wasn't aware.
Well, not about the Quake maps, obviously, but about rain, I'm sure.
Oh, I was gonna say there's a song about Quake maps, and I wasn't aware.
They're singing it while they're in the rain.
Singing in the rain. Just singing in the rain. Oh, crap, my mic is on. That was a joke, I know it was on. Alright, starting on Fresh Breeze once again, who's doing a little bit of a meme.
Look at that.
Is
beautiful
the
combo.
scenery
Who we're gonna follow
distracting to the
first?
players?
We're gonna watch Thrash first.
Yes,
It
we're on
always
Thrash.
starts on Thrash. I'm beginning to notice that Quake Champions might be a little biased on whoever's in the first slot.
I don't know, but I like his hat. It's
It is rather dapper.
gentlemanly. Yeah.
It is very dapper. No,
Well,
the
that little
scenery
Timmy.
is not distracting. Another thing you can do is the lower your settings are, the less of the pretty little things you see. So you can actually reduce your settings to make it a little bit easier on you if you have an issue with it in Champions. But typically, no, the scenery does not make it distracting. Unless you're easily distracted and you really like looking at lightning.
Thrash getting first blood and a double kill.
Imagine you're a commentator and you're trying to speak fast enough at 3v3 sacrifice, 44 TDM, or 44 CTF. Must be a nightmare. I have streamed a match between, what was it, 64 people?
Teams are tied.
Yeah.
It was quite crazy. I will agree with you on that.
It's fun though.
It is fun. I
And
would
there's gonna
miss
be
it.
another one tonight with 64 people.
Oh, the joy. And I'll be casting another one tomorrow.
Yeah.
I will say it is really nice to see 2 patats on the board. One getting partnered with an Izem, the other getting partnered with a Galena. So we have totems versus turrets and vision versus vision.
Philly's just going on a tear. My god.
But with very little help to work with, this could spell danger with the quad coming in. Le boom, and le bang. Oh, and a nice rail to follow it up. Jeff was like, stop that!
Stop with the rail that hurts.
Looks like Galena has it. Gonna swap over to Desi. 59 HP, but running around with that quad. The Mega getting swiped by Thrash, putting Galena at quite a disadvantage. Thule coming in to clean it up. That was some pretty excellent teamwork right there.
And they're both still low in health when they grab the quad, though.
This is true.
This is quite something.
See, quad comes, it comes with a few different types of curses. One, you can't find anybody when you have it. Or two, your health never goes up when you have it.
Yeah, you always have to restack your health before you get to use it. And by the time you get to use it, it's gone.
It is the curse of quad, but you're still gonna go for it every time.
Oh my god, Thule, get some health. There you go. Now he's ready for action.
Thank you, Bipolar Bear. I appreciate that. And I hope you've been well.
Bipolar Bear, I haven't seen that guy in a good while. I hope he's doing good.
A good lie?
A good while, I mean, words.
Excuse me, sir.
I meant to say while.
Why would you lie about that? It just does.
I stumble when I talk fast.
Try to keep up, big boy.
But I hope he's doing good. It's good to hear from him. Wow, what
oh, beautiful. Are we gonna get a double seer? No. Thrash denying it, but still, good teamwork once again. They are like, look, I get it. You got the round. But this is ours. Did anyone see Rafa coming back from getting stomped? Be nice. Rafa is still a champion of champions, and QPL can go any direction.
Incoming protection.
But it was still very entertaining, nonetheless.
Protection in 7 seconds.
I love that Thule keeps flashing that QuakeCon gauntlet. I really do. It's almost like it hurt me. Swapping over to Thrash, who did swipe the protection. Protection on a turret, I've got to say, is one of my least favorite things to run into, because you just think it's gonna blow up, and it's like, no, I want to live.
Yeah. I remember when first Sizen came around, we were all confused, like, wait a minute, does that turret have quad or protection? What's going on?
Oh, quad turret's even worse. You see it, and you're dead.
Speaking of, protected turret. I guess they haven't found those. I guess they have 2 totems on the map, it looked like, from on the internet. Or do they have 3? I'm just looking on the map, I see the outlines.
Oh, I know, Alibu, you're fine.
Jabberwocky getting that shotgun kill.
And hurting oh so bad. I've noticed that a lot of times when these fights end, the players are always pretty weak, either dead or weak on both ends. So that's pretty much a really big compliment to the competitors, because that means nobody is just going down without a fight, no one is just getting stomped over here, everyone is putting in their all, and if you're going to take them down, you're going to take some heat for it.
That's true. And it looks like they had 3 totems on the map, but it looks like they can't seem to find those totems in the way back there, if you notice it on your screen.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
That was a lucky save there.
The heart stopped. I was very afraid for that moment.
And Thrash just made it in all too quickly with that LG.
Somebody clip that one. You made your casters gasp on that.
He looked sad during the interview, so I will go on record and say that while I will not say what it is, we all know that Rafa has gone through some very intense personal turmoil the last couple of years. So by all means, we love to support our pro players in every capacity. They're all gonna win, they're all gonna lose, but we are all gonna love them no matter what.
Oh, Chili getting the quad.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I seeing 3 totems on the board? Is there a chance that Team 2 has overstack?
They do indeed have overstack.
There it is.
Ooh.
With the seer quad.
Shafted by the light.
I think I saw a totem disappear. Looks like they don't have overstack anymore. It doesn't matter because Jabberwocky don't need it. You got that quad and it's clean enough.
2. I definitely see 2 totems. So there's the third. They definitely have overstack at this point, but Jabba might not have noticed to take advantage of it. Hopefully they've got some comms going. And it looks like the overstack is still on the board. That could give Team 2 the edge they need to bring this back and possibly even take map 2. There is still quite a bit of time on the map.
Those 2 totems in the back have been there the whole match. They haven't even found them yet.
There goes the overstack, but it's okay. All he needs is 1 more and a few time vials, and we'll have it back.
Oh,
Galena getting revenge for the totem.
how dare you shoot my totem? And there it is.
Ooh, the rail exchanges. They just make you giddy.
I always love a good railgun fight.
Giddy like a kitty. Alright.
Meow. I don't know, when I get giddy, it's pretty giddy. See what I did there?
I did, I just didn't want to acknowledge it.
Ha! I see you. I can't decide what to eat for dinner and I'm hungry. Well, you know, everyone was talking about Whataburger in chat, so I think everyone's a little biased. Oh, making me hungry for bacon. Jahar was teasing us oh so much.
It wasn't fair, he had a bowl of bacon.
I mean, if you had a bowl of bacon, wouldn't you flex it a little bit?
Of course I would. And the best part was, it was delivered to him.
And it looks like Crash has protection.
I mean, what can you do? You got a wifey willing to bring you some bacon. You're gonna enjoy that.
You could have some ramen. This is a good time for ramen.
Homemade ramen, it is a delicacy.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I'm getting hungry.
You're welcome. We get to watch Quake and talk about how hungry we are because they're not feeding us. Now get back to work.
Oh, I love the QuakeCon skins on all of these weapons, although I am not going to disagree with that rocket launcher skin.
The
Pulled
Quake 3
right out
rocket
of Quake
launcher?
3, yes.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Takes me back to my Quake Live days. Chat
Somebody
going
just
on,
ate
we
Arby's.
have enchilada, Arby's, some bacon tomorrow,
Oh.
turkey legs, all the
Listen,
things. Amazon
Rest
champions.
rest in peace, Arby's. I hope you feel better tonight.
Oh. Throwing some shade on
That's
the
just
deli.
torture. No, I mean, you get the meat sweats. I mean,
Getting lit up.
I mean, still better than when you eat Chipotle.
Oh, it looks like they found those other totems because there's only one on the map now, according to Desi's. Never mind, there's two now.
Well, Desi is Galena, so I would hope Desi would have a count.
Yeah.
Oh, and that rocket whiff. It was a good shot to take, but if the roof hadn't been there, that might have done quite a bit of damage, if not a direct kill. It's okay, though. They still have the lead.
Oh, Thrash has shut that down, so stop shooting your rockets at me. I have a shotgun.
7 seconds for that quad. Last 30 seconds coming up on the clock. Can they catch up?
I don't think it's going to make much of a difference here. Because blue team is the one that has it, so it is definitely not going to play in red team's favor.
Oh.
Julie with a quad shotgun.
I know you did not just diss my Chipotle. I'm not dissing the food, I'm just saying you might be regretting it later. What a quad rail! Oh, but don't fall out of the map. Oh, heartbeat again.
And there goes the GGs.
That was a good one though.
They are trying to scare me with these
Ooh,
almost
in the
notes.
very end, in your face.
He just puts a little respect on that.
Yeah. Mr. Dapper Leprechaun.
They took Boop the Snoot to a whole new level.
You're railed in the top of the head with a vertical rail. That was oof. Exclamation point. Bam.
Because of time, I think we're just going to dive right into it, are we?
We are. I don't believe we have any reason for a commercial break right now. I think we
No.
should swap the map around and get our competitors right in there.
Yep. I agree. Let's get into it.
Sounds like a plan to me.
I mean, come on, let's be real. Chat, agree with me. Quake is better than commercials. Even though the
Yeah.
QuakeCon commercials are absolutely fantastic and probably better than the ones you're going to see on TV, Quake is still superior by all means.
If you hear me yelling at my wife, I'm just asking for some Arby's. Hang on.
I thought you wanted bacon. Make up your mind, sir.
Oh, I want it all.
I might have bacon downstairs. I might have to make some after this. I mean, it's not too late for bacon, right?
It's never. Wait
I
a minute.
want
That was
bacon.
literally a stupid question. It's never too late for bacon.
Where's the bacon? Instead of where's the beef?
Rico, the toilet bowl?
All right, looks like our competitors are eager as we are.
I gotta ask, what kind of mechanical keys you got going on there? I like the clicky clacks.
Hey man, you can't go wrong with mechanical.
What are you using, blues?
It is a 0 ducky made in China. That's what it says.
Oh man.
I'm rocking the Cherry MX blues, so I'm pissing off my neighbors when I type.
Oof. I wish I hadn't lost my old one. I had another cheap little honestly, keyboard that I got off of Wish, and it was mechanical, and that sucker lasted for years.
I forgot what my keyboard is called, but it looks like it has a logo of Cats and Courage the Cowardly Dog on it.
Hey, if Courage the Cowardly Dog had its own brand of keyboards, I would use nothing other.
Be
I
honest,
mean, it's red like cats. It's pretty awesome.
he wasn't that cowardly. If you think about it.
If it's ducky, it's probably... I mean, it is blue.
Return the slab.
What's up, Excuse me, sir. I have the curse of a cat that likes to bump my computer and try to knock over the trash can. You want to say hi, Bobo? You say hi? No, you just want to sleep under my feet? And
Wonderpix is using holy pandas. I can't wait to get a hold of some of those. We're talking geek switches now.
one of our contenders, Thrash Priest, actually, not super recently, but fairly recently, got a brand new keyboard, custom keys, custom lighting, the works. He shared a few pictures in a few different Discords, and it was sexy.
For once, though, it looks like it's starting off on Desero this time instead of Thrash.
The things I do for love. Oh gosh, classic Courage quote. And we are in our last of the best of 3 for the top bracket. After this, the winner will be in the grand finals. Don't forget, you can rock out to Trivium while you support them. And I think that sounds like an excellent time. So make sure you're cheering for your favorites. We have red team versus blue, and this is the make or break it round of the day.
Desert with the first blood.
And the second, almost-ish. Getting there? Maybe not.
He definitely put the damage in.
Looks like we have a mirror match. We have Galena versus Visor on both. And wait a minute, how do we have a -1?
Uh-oh. I don't know.
Not anymore. Thule said, no, hold on, I need to fix that real quick.
It was a bold move, and it turned out to work for him.
I mean,
I
hey.
imagine somebody probably fell in the slime, and they had too little health.
There is a Sorlag shower on this map. However, if you are not Sorlag, I don't recommend standing in it.
Thule's standing there with the gauntlet, just wanted to be cheeky, I guess.
He's been watching my streams. I'm so proud.
You are the gauntlet queen.
I mean, hey, if they're gonna go through the teleporter with very little health and I have a gauntlet, it's just gonna happen. Quake remake update is amazeballs, isn't it? It was a shocker. A lot of people were expecting a new Quake game to be announced, but honestly, the remastery is gorgeous. Thrash facing off against 2, right by the pit. Oh, but he's not alone. Thule's swinging in for the grab and gets the quad. And now he knows where everyone is.
But unfortunately, the quad curse is in effect. He's got low HP with it. And
oh no! Who swiped the quad?
Desero has grabbed the quad.
Swapping over to Des right now, and they are just moving right along.
And they too have the quad curse.
The trap of the totem on the exit of the teleporter. That is cheeky.
And quad's running out.
Oh, and it looks like the totems worked. You heard those pops go off. I wondered who took the damage.
It had to be Thrash, because Thule was right in front of Desero's shotgun at the time.
You just love those back-to-back pops.
Shaft for shaft.
Desi actually using the shaft, as it is listed in the QuakeCon weapon names. I'm not being lewd, that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's actually called the shaft. And a nice little paint job on it, too.
That means he got the shader skin pack. Another thing you can pick up in the Quake Champion store, if you so desire. You can be like one of the pros.
So they're looking for a rail. They spot Thrash, but misses, but here comes Thule from behind.
Gotta say, I'm a little biased to the QuakeCon skins right now, but I don't think we've seen the QuakeCon LG.
Desro just looking for any kind of armor, I would imagine.
It's alright, they still have a 6-point lead. He can lollygag a little bit as long as he's not running into his enemies, and as I say it, runs right into Thrash, who is definitely going to light him up a little bit, but oof! He also dishes a little himself, getting out of that fight with only 8 HP.
But he did swipe the heavy, so now he's full basic stack, well, was. And Thule just shuts that fight down with a rocket of his own.
Boom and boom. Toilet bowl.
Sustains you.
Oh, some fun little cheeky tactics going on with Desero. This is interesting.
At 33 HP and 15 armor.
Gosh.
Barely hanging on by a thread.
Oof. And a whiff on that rail could have spelled another kill for them.
Oh,
but
rocket.
it was okay. He was able to make it up.
And Thrash is there to respond. It's like, bruh, come on.
Oh, gets traded, gets pushed off when he's going for it.
Got denied. Completely denied. And Thule, again, responding with the rockets.
5-minute warning.
We're down to 5 minutes. We're gonna push it down to the limit here. Quad coming up in 30. Who's gonna snag it?
Incoming quad.
It
So
seems
they
like
grab
it's
them
gonna be a
mega.
battle. Yeah, they got time for it. Let's see who's gonna win that battle on it.
One of the most popular phrases on any Quake stream that you'll see, especially QPL, is "there's still time."
There's always time.
Looks like Thrash is gonna have the quad, gonna swap over and see his perspective, getting it with a little health, but luckily this map is fairly large. He might just be able to find the enemy team and get those kills so that we can tie up the scoreboard once again. Desi not taking it though.
He's
Oh
like,
no.
what? Oh, that whole nice of you to bring that to me.
This could spell disaster for the blue team, but they still have a chance.
Might I add, Desro has overstack on the map now.
Overstack and quad once again, a very lethal combination, but Thrash is not intimidated.
He's like, nah, bruh. I can do that too, watch.
I see you have totem. Would you like to see my totem?
Mine's blue, yours is red.
Well, I feel like I should talk to an adult about that first. That sounds a little personal.
Sir!
I'm dead.
Well, they're playing an interesting tactic. Everyone's staying away from each other.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I hear that that's a really good tactic when you're in the lead.
It was unfortunate for Thule to stay away too far from Thrash because he got destroyed by their teammates. While the other team seems to be sticking together, Thrash over here by himself.
He's not afraid. He likes the odds.
Ooh, nailed it.
And
from
his
afar.
railgun speaks for itself. Look at those QuakeCon skins.
That was a beautiful rail.
DPs is yellow. What is yellow? What is yellow of mine?
It's a team that apparently is present and has been the whole time that we are not aware of.
Incoming protection.
The secret team?
I'm oblivious.
Yeah, it's Team Yellow instead of Team Blue and Red. Didn't you know? Why haven't you been paying attention to chat? Don't you know they love you?
We love them too. But
Then you should pay attention to them.
Chad, I apologize. I need to watch you more.
And Thrash steals protection.
Oh gosh, can he get the double? There it is.
Woo!
Once again, only 2 frags away. The scores have been so tight today.
So close, just under 3 minutes left.
Mega is still up for the taking. Quad is quite a ways away. protection
It's
hasn't
still
even
gonna
run
be a
out yet.
close one.
Are they going to be able to do anything with either of these before time runs out?
Barely missing that rail, but Desi coming in. No, Jabberwocky's like, no. It's like, hey guys.
Ooh.
No, in the exchange. Oh, kamikaze instead. I thought it was an exchange.
Yeah. A lot of things happened there, but Thule unfortunately ended up being the one suiciding.
Oh man. If red team takes this, we might have a rematch between Androck and Club with Thrash and Thule.
That would be most intense.
Who's casting? That's a good question. SF, throw our names up there. You can yell at us later.
I can yell at us now. I am Quake Angel. This is DP, and this is Dark Shadow Rage. Welcoming you to Quick Draw.
One minute left. We're gonna have 30 seconds for that quad. It's still a close match.
Wow.
Brutal.
Oh my
We are
God.
now 4 frags away within the last minute. It doesn't seem like much, but in the game of Quake, that can be miles. Can Blue Team bring it back, or are we going to get the rematch that we honestly didn't know we were waiting for?
Incoming quad.
Man,
That's how it needs to work, you know.
I am also a Vatica. It's amazing.
He has so many names.
I do not. I have a name, a title, and my actual name. So a name, a title, and a handle.
What a rail by Desero. My God.
Your team has the quad.
Jabberwocky's got the quad.
Oh, but the snipe with the machine gun. Again, if you're on the receiving end, it can be so brutal.
Yeah, and he's
Oh,
got
no.
Jabba cleaning it up!
He's gonna
Double
secure
kill.
on this end. here.
10 seconds
10
and an
seconds
8-point lead. It looks like we will be taking red team for the win. With the sultry voice of Visor in your ear, red team will be taking it home. That is a victory for Desero and Jabberwocky, and what the games have been.
Talk about totally flipping it on its head. Thrash and Totally were like killing it in the first rounds, and now Desero and Jabberwocky's like, hey, what's up?
And that is going to put Desero and Jabberwocky in the grand final. That is going to put Thrash and Thule moving down to lowers for that rematch with Androck and Club.
That's gonna be a hell of a rematch. I can't wait to see.
It is going to be quite a rematch, but I have a few announcements to make.
Go on.
Well, I had to write the names in the bracket first, okay?
First off, we are about to be transitioning the stream over to Triviums, one that I have personally been waiting for, but I am going to have to also be casting as well, so I will have both of my stream up and my Discord up, and I would recommend you do the same. We are actually going to be moving this competition over into, like I just said, Discord. There is a channel in there called Quake. See, here I go messing up. Quick Draw Finals. If you would like to swap over to that channel, you will be hearing our lovely voices. It will auto-mute everyone in the server, but feel free to share your opinions in general chat just as you've been doing in Twitch chat. We would love to see it.
So we have, let's say, 3 more minutes before we cut over to a commercial, and then we cut over completely. What else do we have going on this evening? Do you guys know, or do I need to talk about it? Okay, I'll talk about it. So we're going to have a watch party. We're actually going to stick around, and we're going to raid the official Bethesda Twitch stream. Thank you. It's been a long day, everybody. And then later tonight is when the big fun happens. It's going to be another mega match where we're playing Quake 2. We have a 64-player server, and it's going to be absolute madness as we try to catch up streaming that one as well. And who knows? You can get your name called out by one of us lucky people. And then finally, at the end of it, the end of tonight, we have the Fairly Late Show hosted again by our good friends and helpers on the Knock. So our Knock team is actually going through all of our audio clips, all of our clips, and they're going to do a little compilation, kind of like a newscasting thing. So make sure you guys stick around and watch that.
Also,
But on
don't
that note-
forget, your
go
clips
ahead.
are also going to be included in that.
Yes. So if you see something, clip it. We
Clip all
will
the things.
Clip all the things.
And once
Don't
again,
forget-
I am going to encourage everyone to, I'm sorry to interrupt DP. I'm pretty
No.
sure he was going to say clip it. So make sure you clip it. And don't forget to hop over to Discord to keep supporting your favorite players. Because we still have 2 games left. We have a best of 3 between Androctassi and Androctassi. I know I mispronounced that. And Club. And then Thrash Priest and Thule. So we're going to get the grudge match that we might just be waiting for, a best of 3, going into a best of 5 with our top teams. So make sure you hop over there and support them. And don't forget to keep the stream open so you can catch the one and only Trivium, a fantastic bunch who supports the gaming community wholeheartedly. And I very much appreciate that support because those guys are awesome.
Couldn't say it any better myself. Don't forget, those who are also watching, again, we'll drop it one more time, join the Discord. And also, if you can, help the charity. We have several charity events going on, and all the proceeds are going to several different charities. So make sure you guys jump in there. But on that note, let's go ahead and kick over to a commercial, and then we'll move over to Tritium. And then here you go. Tritium. It's
Trivium.
Trivium. Truvia. So Splenda and Truvia are sweeteners.
It's trivia.
Crunch. Lunch. Bunch. Crunch. Munch. Lunch.
Castle's almost finished, Your Majesty.
You see things others can't. Hear threats others don't. Fight when others won't. It's up to you to save Tokyo.
PlayStation.
I think it was a dream, Edwin.